Hey everybody, welcome to episode 98 of the Toys for Games podcast. We're recording this on Tuesday, November 29th, 2016. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who promises to keep kids from eating clay, Jason Greer.
Good evening, Josh. How are we doing?
Fantastic, my friend. It's so good to be back. It's been a while since we podcasted together, and I miss it.
I do. Can I do a shout out real quick?
Absolutely.
Shout out to Cellsci.
Yeah.
Just all Power Rangers announced when the movie's coming to Japan.
2018.
So it's coming March 24th in the U.S. It's coming to like half the world, March 23rd and 24th.
Sure.
Then Portugal on the 27th, Norway and South Africa on the 31st.
All right.
And then Czech Republic, Denmark, Slovakia on the 6th. So
sure.
That's still a couple weeks out, but still the same thing.
That's how we get like Marvel movies over here.
Sure. So March the middle, like very beginning of April, a little time frame there. Shout out to Japan, wholly on July 15th.
Wow.
Sorry, Cellsci.
By the time we get DVDs or Blu-rays of movies, like they are just hitting theaters in Japan.
It's so funny.
It's unbelievable. I feel bad. I really truly feel bad, but at the same time, you don't have to live there. I mean,
they get games first, so they get movies last, games first.
You've had Persona 5 for 2 months now. Goodness gracious. What's been going on, Jason? How was your Thanksgiving?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Had a lot of turkey.
Sure.
Amy's family, most of her family like dark meat, so I was like, fine by me. I'll load them with some of the light meat. So
wait, what? Most of her family likes dark meat?
They were picking out on the dark meat, so I don't know.
That's not true. That doesn't happen.
It happened, so I just kept eating the light. You know, I went light in the first round. You know,
as you
light
should.
On the light, just because I didn't get a lot, just because like I'm not, you know.
Sure, you won't be that guy.
Crock pot. Yeah, so then came
Give
back.
me one
like,
whole turkey breast, please.
So all dark meat was like going west. I'm like, all right, fine, you all had your chance.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever heard that or seen that before.
And I asked Amy the day before, and I'm like, is there going to be barbecue sauce or need to bring my own Sweet Baby Ray's? Because I have 3 bottles in the cabinet, because I don't let that run out. She's like, no, we definitely have it. I'm like, all right, get there. Didn't have it.
Whoa. She duped you.
I know, right? So I'm like, this is why I should have brought it anyways.
So what did you do?
I just ate it dry.
That's unfortunate. Okay, here's the thing.
Thankfully, it was a moist turkey. So it was okay.
Right.
It wasn't like a dry turkey. But
why don't you have a spare bottle in your car?
I should. That's the lesson I learned.
Right, because here's the thing. She knew there wasn't going to be a store open for you to go get barbecue sauce at.
Sure.
And you weren't going to drive home to go get it because that's ridiculous. She set you up, man. I almost did, though.
I know.
Man. So how did this work? This is your first Thanksgiving with Amy. Did you have a Thanksgiving with your family, and then you went to her family's Thanksgiving? Did both families combine to do one mega Thanksgiving?
So my sisters have done in-laws and like whatever you call your family per se.
Okay, immediate family.
What's the term? What's the term for nuclear family or whatever it's called?
Sure. Your immediate family.
Yeah. So every other with Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this year, according to what they are, Thanksgiving Day is spent with the in-laws, and then Christmas would be spent with my parents. Is how they have it set up. And then next year would flip-flop, where they would have Thanksgiving with my family, and then Christmas Day with the in-laws, and obviously we do Christmas as a family on like the 22nd or something.
Now, do the sisters rotate who hosts, or does it happen at your parents' house?
It's always been at my parents' house, but like Megan hosted the one year.
Okay.
I think Hub's hosted it one time too.
Okay.
So then typically Christmas, what we've been doing, we start having breakfast at Heather's house, then drive down the street from my house to do some gift exchange, and then drive down the street to my parents' house.
Okay.
And finish up there for kicks and giggles. And it kind of keeps the kids entertained and not, get burned out as easily.
Sure. Right. I mean, when you live in a town with one street light, it's easy to go from house to house.
That's right. So I was like, all right, so that was fine. So I was like, all right, well, this has been working out great for all these years. So hopefully it works out well with Amy. And her sister just got married like in July of this year. So like they haven't really done tradition. Obviously they've been dating for a while, so they've already been doing something. So thankfully I was like, well, let's see if it works out. So I talked to her sister the one night, and I'm like, all right, we need to talk holidays real quick. She's like, all right, what's up? And I explained the system we have. She's like, okay, I think we could make it work. So thankfully it worked out.
Okay.
So Thanksgiving I could have with Amy's family, and then Christmas would be with my family, and that worked out for Amy's sister. And then she has a brother and a younger sister. Younger sister's still in college. Her brother's in a serious relationship, and thankfully it worked out for him too. So thankfully it looks to be like an much easier thing, because holidays can be family drama time for who goes where. Thankfully ours is quick and done in like 5 minutes. So
very tricky. Yeah, my aunt and uncle came over the other day just to swing in and say hi, and they're talking about Christmas. They're the only family I have here in Vancouver. That's my family, and they have a daughter. She lives in Portland, and then my cousin, he's somewhere else, and they have friends that they go see during the holidays and all this different kinds of stuff. And they're like, okay, we're gonna have to figure out like how we could best accommodate like everybody's schedules for for Christmas, so we could have like everybody together, but it probably shouldn't be on Christmas, because we want to give everybody the opportunity to do their own thing, but then we still want everybody to get together. I'm like, okay. So we start like laying down all the complications of like me having 3 kids and Val having 3 kids, and us having exes that have families and they want to do things with the kids as well. And like after like a 15-minute discussion, we came to the realization that we are going to have all 6 kids in this house for at least several hours during the middle of Christmas Day. If anybody wants to see all 6 kids at the same time, you need to come to our house and make that happen. There is not going to be another opportunity. I am telling you right now what your window is. If you miss it, that's on you.
You got to take it.
Yeah. So it's just like, as adults, like you have like your opportunity to go and do your own thing and make the schedule that you want to live up to. But like when you have kids that, are involved with other adults that have other schedules, like there is very, very strict scheduling that needs to happen well ahead of time, so everybody knows what's going on, and you just can't mess with that, like you just got to go with it. So
sure,
I understand to an extent your anxiety for trying to schedule these type of things. It's challenging.
Thankfully it's easy
for you. Yeah, it turned out to be fairly easy, so I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. I went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Val and I, we decided to go on a road trip. We drove down to Anaheim to go hang out with Brett.
Solid road trip.
Yeah. We stopped in Monterey, which is about Central Coast, California. We left here in Vancouver about 6:30 p.m. We were going to drive through the night. Super easy drive, but we were thinking we wanted to stop in Monterey and check out the aquarium for a couple hours, and just, we didn't have a particular schedule that we had to live up to as far as like meeting up with Brett, and we're staying at his house, and no schedules at all, no time frame. We were working on our own. So I was like, let's just stop at the aquarium. Like, I haven't been to this aquarium since I was a kid. I loved it then. I'm sure I'm going to love it now. This is the aquarium that they loosely modeled the rescue center from Finding Dory on. So we'd just seen Finding Dory, so I'm like, okay, I kind of want to see like what the similarities are, and how this works. So
they merchandise the crap out of it yet?
Oh, no. No mention of it at all.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, in Finding Dory, they use a city called Morro Bay, which is a couple hours south of Monterey. And that facility doesn't even exist. That's not a real facility.
Right.
Morro Bay actually is a city, but they don't have a facility like that. But the facility that they made up for Finding Dory was based off of the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Sure.
But not 100%. So, like, Monterey Bay Aquarium isn't, like, taking credit for it. They're just like, hey, we are, Finding Dory.
Similar.
Yeah. But as I was walking through, I'm like, that's totally where Hank was crawling through the rafters. And like, I was like, yep, those are the signs they were reading. And like, there's the ocean wall, you know, like I was like picking things out. That was pretty fun. But we got down there a couple hours before the aquarium opened up. So we had time to kill. We ate breakfast and we took a little nap in the parking lot because what else are you going to do? We've been driving all night. Sure. But it was it was very nice, beautiful day. Then from there we just kind of moseyed on down and made our way down to Anaheim. That first night took us out to Portillo's hot dogs.
I'm so jealous.
Oh God, it was so good. Like he was like, "Do you want to do In-N-Out?" I'm like, we had In-N-Out coming down. Like, no, not really. Like, it sounds weird to say no to that, but no, you know. And he's going back and forth, and he was like, "What about? Okay, so there's this hot dog place. It's called Portillo's." I'm like, "Yes, just stop right there. Yes." Yeah. Oh, you've heard of it? Yes, Brett. I've heard of Portillo's hot dogs. It was good. It was really good. I get it. I understand the love for Portillo's hot dogs. So that was wonderful. And then the next 2 days were spent at California Adventure and Disneyland. And because we timed it correctly, the holiday decorations were up in both parks.
Nice.
It was full on holiday themed, and I couldn't be happier. The whole time I was thinking about how much you would enjoy Christmas decorations at the parks. Cars Land, decked out in holiday decorations, might have been one of the best things ever.
Yeah.
The entire thing, dude. Like, there's a Christmas tree made out of tires.
Before, but...
Oh God! Like, as soon as I walked in, I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Like, this is Jason's like actual, like, if he could die and go anywhere and live like the rest of eternity, this is it. Like, this 100%. Is it right now. Like Groundhog's Day, like you would never like try to end. It would just be, yeah. It was so perfect.
I would work in Cars Land for free.
Oh God!
You know.
And we actually didn't get around to Cars Land until early evening, so it was already dark. So just like all the lights were popping, and it was magical, man. It was so good. Going on the Cars ride at night, a lot scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. A lot of fun though. A lot of fun. We did the single rider, so it went pretty quick. The wait for it, but just Cars Land was magical. The giant bear that's outside of the river rafting ride. He had a Christmas sweater on, which is brand new apparently.
Yep.
I sent you that picture. It was awesome. As we were leaving, we have to walk by it again. The sweater lights up.
What?
It had lights on it and said "Merry Christmas" or yeah. It was unbelievable. Brett like was floored. He was like, "I've never seen that sweater on that bear before. I don't know how they did that." I'm like, "That's so cool."
That's awesome.
Just stupid little details that have no business being done that they think of, and they're just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna add this here," you know. We saw the Frozen show.
Find a Pokeball this time?
What's that?
Did you find a Pokeball again?
Oh yeah, totally. Funny story though, the Frozen show. You know how we had a perpetual habit of breaking rides while we were there?
Sure.
We broke the Frozen show.
What happened?
They stopped mid-show, and on the loudspeaker they said, "Due to the safety of our cast, we are forced to pause the show until we could deem the rest of the performance safe to continue."
Is it like Spider-Man on Broadway issues, or?
I don't know. They never said. So we sat there for like 10 minutes while like just the music played. And then they're like, "Okay, we will now continue the show." It's like, what just happened? How did we break a show like this? Also, they cut out the opening scene of the show with the ice gatherers.
Oh,
completely gone. They just jump right into Elsa and Anna.
Well, did they bring up the joke about selling ice?
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they had that in the show.
Yeah, no, they have it in the show, but by the time you meet Kristoff and you're like, well, if I've never seen the movie, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know that he sells ice anymore because he took that out of the performance.
What I'm saying, like literally, if they took that punchline out that he sells ice, the entire first scene is pointless.
Right, but they left the punchline in.
Right, then yeah. Well, even they you don't necessarily need context. It's still a funny line.
Sure. But
this is my thing. There's people out there. I'll call her out. Amy's mom.
Yeah.
Says Frozen is a better movie than Inside Out, and I'm like, you take that sin talk right out of your mouth. Like that's not enough for a debate. Frozen's good. Don't get me wrong.
Great songs.
Amy says it is plot hole city. It makes no sense at all, and there's crap just thrown everywhere, which is understandable because they rewrote the show when they did the Let It Go song, and they like completely changed everything.
Right.
And so now they have these weird pieces they kind of chucked together and created like, there you go.
I feel like there's an extended director's cut out there somewhere that like makes the movie make sense.
Sure, but if you go down and try to put it like it makes no logical sense.
No,
at all.
Nope. But I don't know. I was a little bummed about it because I really like the ice song, but I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Brett's like, yeah, they had, they were constantly running late, and I'm like, it's like 3 minutes. Like that's not that big of a deal. But whatever. Everything else was intact, so pretty good. Soren, still fantastic. Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
I'm going to write again since it doesn't smell like oranges anymore. I'm kind of still pissed, but
yeah, I understand. But all the other smells, man, kind of make up for it.
Sure.
Let's see, California Adventure. It was pretty straightforward overall. I mean,
did you buy a new wand at Universal?
No. I here's the thing. I froze because now all of a sudden I know all of these characters, but there's still several characters in the wand shop that I don't know who they are yet. Sure. And I'm super curious about, but I'm just like, now that I know these characters, I felt too much pressure to pick one.
That's understandable.
Yeah. California Adventure, the new light show that they have for the holiday season.
Oh, right.
Yes. Beautiful.
With the drones? Is that the one with the drones?
No, drones are in Orlando.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But they have this new show. It's holiday themed. It's a whole bunch of winter and Christmas songs. Super well done. Trans-Siberian Orchestra has a song during it, which that's when they have like all the fireballs and lasers and everything. Just so good, so good. But like 3/4 of the way through the show, right? We're standing there watching, and we get like the primo Brett spot because he fast passed it, of course, and we are top notch. We know he knows what he's doing. So we're standing there, we're watching the show, and everything's doing great, and all of a sudden, like I see this like white heart-shaped balloon start floating up into the sky. I'm like, that sucks that some kid lost their balloon. Like that's my instant thought is, some kid just like their night's ruined now because they let go of their balloon. And then like 10 seconds later, another balloon went up. I'm like, okay, now you're just doing it on purpose, and I'm kind of a little pissed because everybody's looking up and now everybody's focused on your stupid balloons because you're clearly making a distraction. And I was internally getting upset about this. Like, people are intentionally releasing their balloons.
Sure.
And then off to the left, a few seconds after that, another balloon comes up. I'm like, wait a second. Is this like a flash mob, like, balloon release going on? Or what is happening right now? And then, like, over the course of the next couple minutes, just all these balloons start popping up, like, every 5-10 seconds. And I'm watching them, and they're floating up slowly, but they are floating steadily up into the sky. They're coming from like the audience down at the front. So it's not like in like where the water fountains are and everything like that.
Sure.
But I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then one of the balloons passed by one of the water spouts, and the whole thing just exploded. Just disintegrated. It was soap bubbles.
What?
They had created compact, formed soap bubbles in the shape of hearts.
Of course they did.
That they were poofing up into the air, and they were floating around like balloons and not losing their shape at all. Like, there were ones that were going up 100 feet in the air. You could still see them. They were still perfect heart. I don't know how they do that.
Disney, I swear, has stuff the government doesn't know they even have.
There is some illegal stuff going on there. A whole bunch of FDA regulations got broke that night. But, like, by the end of the show, Jason, like, they just kept releasing them. And they started coming off from 3 different sections. By the end of the show, like, you just looked up, and there's just all these soap bubble hearts up in the air.
That's
like,
awesome.
100 of them. Just floating there. Unbelievable.
That's awesome, though.
I don't know how you get soap bubbles to stay formed and compact like that. But Disney figured it out. Because they're Disney,
man. They're Disney. That's all you need to know. I really want to see the drone show. Like, I'm curious to see what that's like.
Yeah. Brett showed us a video of, like, how they, like, were forming, like, a Christmas tree out of it and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. They brought back the LED light parade.
Yep.
That they retired. They brought that back for a couple weeks while we were there.
Sure.
So we got to see that. That was exciting. We got to see the holiday themed fireworks show at Disneyland. That was very well done. The decorations throughout, like, Disneyland itself, amazing. Small World, I didn't realize was like 100% holiday themed.
Sure.
Beautiful. Makes that ride just 1,000 times better. Jingle Cruise, oh god, so good, Jason, so good.
Is the one thing I want to go to, like, Disney. I typically, like, I don't buy, like, t-shirts for stuff I haven't experienced or, you know, things like that.
Right.
But, like, I own a Jingle Cruise t-shirt that I wear, like, all the time at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Just because it's so good. Like, I've watched videos and stuff. I want to go so bad.
It's unbelievable. Like, the whole time I'm thinking, okay, they're going to have it decorated for the holidays in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know how it's going to be any different because it's still the Jungle Cruise, right?
Sure.
But every single joke was holiday themed, and I don't know how they completely changed this. The only joke that was predictable was the backside of water.
Yeah.
So I'm okay that they left that in there.
Yeah, I will say before, or I said it before, and I'll say it again. If I'm ever on a Jungle Cruise ride and they don't make that joke, I will not get off that boat until they take me back around and just do it again.
We're going again.
We're doing this again.
But every other joke, every other punchline was holiday themed. I was blown away. I'm like, how do you have this much material? Like, this is unreal. So that was super good. And then the Haunted Mansion. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So Haunted Mansion is completely themed to be Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure.
And I knew that going in, but again, I didn't realize to the extent of which they go to make it Nightmare Before Christmas themed. Like, even the opening, when you go in, before you even get on the ride, where, like, you look up and there's, like, the guy hanging from... No, it's Jack Skellington and he's busting through the roof. Like, immediately walking into the mansion, it's Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And the entire ride, all the way through, Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's awesome.
No bride on the ride, so bonus. Also in the ballroom, they made it smell like gingerbread.
Huh.
So as you're going through, because, like, there's a gingerbread house, like, on the dining room table, and so as you're going through that, like, all you smell is, like, baking gingerbread.
That's
legit. Disney Imaginators, man. Small World also had some sense going on.
What?
Which, okay, here's the thing. We're sitting there, and I'm like, what is that smell? He was like, oh, it's like one of the scents. And I can't remember where it was, but it was, I want to say it was like peppermint or something. And I looked at him and I was like, do they always have scents? He was like, yeah, scents have always been on Small World. And I'm like,
no.
Are we sure about this, Brett? Are you trying to sit there and tell me?
There's never been scents I've ever ridden on Small World.
That's what I'm saying.
And I've rode Small World every time I go.
So I questioned him, and he denied it, but I think he's lying to me. That I think Disney is starting to incorporate scents into all their rides to kind of freshen them up a bit, like not freshen scent wise, but freshen like make them
experience.
Yeah, the experience, because they nailed it with Soarin', and we know they have the technology now. And I was like, are we sure about this? Because on Monsters Inc., there was scents as well. I don't remember scents being on that ride either.
I only rode that one time, but I don't remember anything as far as I remember.
I mean, you would remember a scent, and I can't remember which scent it was, and that frustrates me. But I was just like, Brett, really? He's like, no, always been there. Brett, I don't feel like you're telling me the truth right now, my friends.
Lying. You're lying.
So, regardless, Jason, it was a wonderful time. I absolutely encourage you to make it out for the holiday decorations at some point soon, because as much as I was looking forward to it, I wasn't ready for how amazing it actually was until I was there and just realized it was just so perfect. Every little detail just perfect, you know?
Sure.
Just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, and like I said, Universal Studios was fun. It was rainy, but we still enjoyed ourselves, especially at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. That was a lot of fun.
Did you ride the big ride again?
We were going through, and then they had technical problems, so we weren't able to actually get on. Like, we were pretty close to getting on, and weren't able to, and didn't want to wait for it to start back up. So we're just like,
Sure.
Well, there's more to see here, and I don't want to sit in this line any longer. So, but we got to walk through all of Hogwarts and everything like that, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good vacation, a necessary vacation. I apologize to the listening audience for being gone for a week and a half from this podcast, but we needed a break. We wanted to give you guys a break and enjoy your Thanksgiving or enjoy your regular Thursday for our international audience out there. But we're back, episode 98. Let's go ahead and get started. Executive producer of the show, George Torres, fortunately was not able to meet up with him as hoped. He had some business meetings down in San Diego when we got down there, and then he was taken off to Arizona for the weekend because big shots got to do big things. Always moving on the business side. That man, he's just like, yeah, I'm going to be, driving down to San Diego for the afternoon, got some business meetings, and, but I'm like, God, George, just no excuses, man. You don't need to make excuses here. I get it. You're a big shot. No problem. I get it, man. We'll make it happen. Also, show sponsor is Devin Lachinsky. You can find him on his YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/DLASCH2, the number 2. And Devin is going to be down at PSX this weekend. He's heading down there. He asked if we were going to join him. Told him, unfortunately, we just couldn't make it. We couldn't swing it with our busy schedules, especially this time of year. But definitely wish Devin a lot of fun while he's down there. And if anybody's listening to this, wants to meet up with Devin, he's definitely probably looking for some people to hang out with, especially from this community. So if you're going to PSX, reach out. I can get you in touch with Devin, and you guys could represent Toys for Games properly down there, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for him.
I'm jealously going to be able to go.
Yeah, sounds like a fun show. It's like
it's a fun fan show.
Yeah, like a condensed PAX, but like you're there for one specific part of PAX.
Sure.
And everybody's there for the same reason. So, yeah, should be fun. Should be fun, man. This is episode 98. That means in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording episode 100. 100 episodes of the Toys for Games podcast. Here's the thing. Last week we promised we were going to be talking about episode 100. We did not. The only person to publicly call me out on that was actually not publicly because it was privately, but Matt Sonnenberg. He was like, "Hey, what's going on with episode 100? You promised you were going to be talking about that last show." Well, Matt, we got busy. We had a great interview with Toyji, the creators of Toyji, who are just about to launch their Kickstarter, which is live now. Go over to Kickstarter, check out Toyji, Toyji. If you listen to that interview, you know how excited they were to share their product, and hopefully they get the backing on Kickstarter that they're looking for. And it's going well for them so far, so big shout out to them. And then last week you were taking off. You were going on this road trip to go watch some soccer matches and college football and who knows what kind of shenanigans you were going on. I think you were just practicing for like Final Fantasy. Like you knew you were going to be playing a road trip in Final Fantasy, so you're like, I just got to do this in real life first.
Get it all tested out.
Yeah. That go well for you?
It was great. We didn't have any issues.
Yeah, I mean it feels like so long ago that you did that.
I know, dude. It was a heck of a weekend. Heck of a weekend. Yeah, I don't think we had. We didn't really sit in traffic or anything like that. And it's funny to go west. Literally, I go past 2 stoplights to get on the highway, and then I make 1 turn off that to get onto the turnpike, and I take that. So I get on the highway. So I literally take 2 turns, get on the highway, take 1 turn to get off of that to get onto the turnpike, take that for like 3 hours. Then I get on 70, and then you just stay on 70 for 8 hours.
Oh wow!
You don't even move. And like it was funny because one time Noah was watching the college football games on my cell phone.
Sure.
On the way back, and he's like, "Well, don't you need it for the GPS?" I'm like, "Noah, I don't make a turn for the next like 8 hours, man. Like I just ride the sucker, so I feel like getting off." He's like, "Oh, that's right."
We'll get concerned when we get back into Pennsylvania. Then we can start thinking about it.
Exactly what it is.
Well, good. I'm glad that went well for you. But you were taking off after. I mean, pretty much right after our last show. So we kind of rushed it, and we totally forgot to talk about episode 100. So we're going to talk about episode 100 right now. It's happening in 2 weeks. The date that we have scheduled is December 14th. It's a Wednesday night.
Look at us planning ahead.
You know how long it's been since we've done a Wednesday show? It's been a while.
That's been a while.
Long while. I miss Wednesdays. But we're coming back to Wednesday. Back where it all started. Episode 100, December 14th. Why is that an important date, you ask? Here's the thing. We're going to do something crazy. Now, I'm warning you in advance. There's a good possibility it doesn't work out the way we hope it's going to work out. With us, you just can't tell. It may be as smooth as a baby's butt, and it could be just a train wreck waiting to happen. But we are going to attempt to do episode 100 live.
Dun, dun, dun.
A live broadcast of episode 100. Of course, we'll record it, and it will be up on iTunes and all platforms where you find your podcasts. Don't worry about that. But we're going to attempt to do it live via Google Hangouts,
On YouTube.
streamed on YouTube. That's the setup we have in mind. Should be fun. That will allow people to be in the chat. There's a chat, right, on the YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll probably be starting 6 p.m. Pacific time on December 14th. If that changes or if it's delayed, obviously we'll let you know via Twitter. But once we're live, like the idea is to have people in the chat hanging out with us while we do a live show. How it's going to work, no idea.
No idea.
Hope for the best, right? That's all we could do. I mean, look, if we just get something recorded by the end of the night, I don't even care how well the live broadcast works out. As long as we don't lose the recording of it, we'll be golden.
Sure.
What are we going to do for episode 100, you may ask? Well, we're going to go back to one of our favorite episodes, I think. I think I speak for you when I say that. Episode 50. We did an AMA where you, the listening audience, wrote in with questions that you had for us to answer. Not necessarily about Toys to Life. We took a lot of personal questions. Funny, serious, all kinds of questions. it was like a 7-hour show, right? It was so long we broke it up into 3 parts. Like, it was the longest podcast of life. We're going to try to avoid that because, 1, we're going to be doing it live, so that's a ridiculous thing to ask people to stick around for. 2, we want to make it manageable, but we want to have fun with it still. We want to make it special because it is episode 100. So we are going to be doing the AMA style. I am going to open up an email box for it again. We are going to encourage you to write in whatever questions you may have for us to answer. We will answer honestly and truthfully. Our standards of the show. We're going to keep it clean. We're going to keep it family friendly no matter what. But, other than that, like, whatever you want to know about us, about the show, about the community, like, have at it. We want to talk about it. We want to give you guys something fun to listen to. We had a lot of fun recording the last one. A lot of fun.
Super mad fun.
And once again, Matt will be back as host and MC of the show. He's going to be fielding the questions. If all works according to plan, we are not going to know the questions ahead of time, which makes our answers even better, I think.
Sure.
More honest, more truthful, less canned answers, less political answers. Can't practice. We have to be live. Do it live.
Do it live.
Actually, live this time.
Now, if people ask questions that don't get read on the show, what happens then?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have something up on the website, fully explaining what we want the people to do as far as asking questions. So when you send in an email with your questions, I want you to highlight like your most important question that you want asked, right?
Right.
Because we do want to make the show not quick, but within a couple hours.
Manageable.
Manageable. I mean, 3 at the max, right? But we want as many people to ask questions as possible. So if you could pick out one specific, your top question that you want answered, and highlight that at the top of the email, that will be for sure the question that gets asked. From there, if you have more questions, Matt will be able to choose from them as the show progresses. If we're needing more questions or if people are asking the same questions, he could kind of pull from different emails on different questions. But then beyond that, if there's still more questions that go unanswered, we're going to answer them and have a full write-up on the Toys for Games website answering all of the questions that get asked via email.
Absolutely.
So if it takes us all week to answer all the questions, we're going to do it. I don't know the logistics of how you and I are actually going to make this happen, but we'll make it happen. So audio-wise, we want to keep the show to a reasonable length, just for listeners' sake, but we do want to answer all the questions we possibly can, so we'll do the follow-up write-up for any questions that don't get answered on the show that way. How's that sound?
Sounds fantastic.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm trying to figure out some way to work in our Patreon supporters. I don't know how that's going to work quite yet, but I'm thinking about it. Mainly, I'm so excited just to have people like in the chat room and like talking and being part of the show in a way. How much we're going to be able to respond to what's going on in the chat room, I have no idea. But it's going to be fun to see comments and see people. I 100% expect Shopkins Inquirer to be in there,
Sure.
trolling the entire show. So, I look forward to it. It's going to be fun. This seems like the perfect way to kind of end 2016 and celebrate our 100th episode and kind of look forward into what may be a potentially crazy 2017 for us. Yeah. So, regardless, that's our plans. Again, I'm going to do a full write-up on toysforgames.com explaining how to email, what we expect from your emailed questions, and you have 2 weeks to get that in. So be on the lookout. I should have something up tonight, if not tomorrow. But December 14th, mark your calendars, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Links will go out accordingly, but it's going to be fun. Let's get to the news, shall we?
Let's do it, man.
We usually save the biggest news for last, but I just feel disingenuous by saving the biggest news of the week or potential biggest news of the week for last, because everybody wants to talk about it. This is what is on everybody's mind at this moment. So we're going to talk about Skylanders. Skylanders is sponsored by our friend Matt Sonnenberg, who you can find on Twitter at SCLMatt. You can also find him on Twitter at AsAMatterOfMatt. Go over to his website, sclmatt.com. That provides you with links to all of his different websites, including SkylandersCharacterList.com, which has made him world famous at this point for his Skylanders coverage. Now, let's talk about Skylanders.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, so do a couple of housekeeping notes with it, and then also we get to the big news topic. One, we'll look to Wave 3 is starting to be released, per se. Wave 3 incorporates a couple of different things and different aspects, and it's as Matt said, and I think how he worded in his article, it's always a weird one. Mm-hmm. So there's different aspects that come in, so it's hard to define what officially makes the Wave 3, but everything that's coming out in this time frame is starting to roll out now. Obviously, the Enchanted Elven Forest Adventure Pack is available at Toys R Us. Mm-hmm. So people have spotted a couple other retailers as well, but that is available there. Toys R Us available in store. Buy one, get one 40% off this week. So if you don't have the other Adventure Pack, good time to pick up both of those.
I picked it up yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah. The only one that they had.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see my tweet?
Yeah, tons of them.
My store had like 60.
Yeah, one on the shelf.
Huh.
I was like, okay, well, it's meant to be.
Then the Thumpin' Wumpa Islands Adventure Pack, or aka the Crash Duo Pack.
Yeah.
Is available now in stores at GameStops. They're starting to roll out the GameStops. Should be coming other places as well, but for some reason GameStop's just getting it now. First appearance in like Central America, or not Central America, Central United States, like in Iowa-ish areas, which
Midwest?
Is weird. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Should all GameStops have them now, or
they're rolling out? And typically GameStops come. I mean, it should be out now or within the next 48 hours or so.
Okay.
Be pretty quick, but yeah, because I think GameStop shipments come from Texas versus like our stuff comes from the West. So I think that's why it got in there. But anyways, it's weird.
Any word on why GameStop got it first?
Nope.
Okay.
I think maybe it's just because it's crashed, and so they might have put an emphasis on getting out the GameStop, just because pure gamer area. People are like, oh look, it's Crash Bandicoot.
Huh. But what about the mystical juju, bad juju?
That's not until like December 12th.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Then we do have 2 combo packs. That's where Pinata's showing up in. Obviously, the first combo packs were supposed to come out Wave 1. Didn't show up till Black Friday at Best Buy. So I don't know when or if these are going to show up in the U.S.
I'm a little stressed, Jason. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried.
And then we got the new triple packs of the Creation Crystals, one of which includes the Dark Crystal. There is 4 crystals total that are out. New this time was a new. Was there a new water,
life,
tech, life, and fire? Yeah, water, tech, life, and fire.
Yep.
So all those are out. So
the dark one that's in the 3-pack, is that the same one that was in the dark edition?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't need it, but again, it's in the 3-pack. We don't know if it's still going to come out individually or not. You would think so, but again, who knows?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yep.
So it's available. It's available for ordering right now, shipping on Amazon. It's kind of like a weird thing. It's how it's showing up in there. It's definitely a different like ASIN number, but like 1 and 2 disappear from the list and they replaced with 3 and 4. So I'm somewhat nervous about it, but looks like you should be able to order it online and get shipped to your house, and we'll see and make sure. Hopefully, it is what it's supposed to be. So those are available there as well. Then for the actual figures, we're getting Buckshot, Chain Reaction, Flare Wolf, Pit Boss, and Bad Juju as far as the standard figures. Pit Boss is showing up in Toys R Us's. Just Pit Boss. Because why not?
Not the legendary, but the actual. Okay.
Yeah, well, Legendary is also showing up, which
Sure,
I think maybe why they're doing it, but then also Pit Boss is available for shipping online at Toys R Us, the only one available for shipping online.
Okay.
And then so I don't know where the other ones are. Obviously, then we're getting Jingle Bell Chopping Mage again, starting to roll out at GameStop. It's supposed to be out on Friday, according to their official press release. Big old ordeal coming out that day.
November 25th, launch day.
Not there.
No.
Started rolling out yesterday again, Midwest America. So is what it is.
Sure.
Mystical Bad Juju again coming up later here soon. Solar Flare Aurora was supposed to come out on Black Friday at Target and did come out on Black Friday at Target. Both online, and see, I was a little bit nervous with it. Like I said in store, which my store did not have them on Black Friday.
Right. Neither did mine.
On Saturday or Sunday, I forget one of the two. I was there, and they were there then.
Mine didn't show up until Monday.
Okay.
Which worked out fine.
And at the end, as much as I give stores crap all the time for different things, I'm 100% understanding.
Yeah,
I really am.
100%. Yeah.
They have way too much other crap to deal with than getting this random figure out on shelves. I mean,
when Val and I were out on Black Friday, and I was at a Target, and I was like, I'm just looking for this one particular one. And I was telling her what it was, what to look for, and she was like, no, is it supposed to come out later? I'm like, yeah, they probably have in the back. She was like, why don't you just ask them? I said, no, they have enough going on today. The last thing they wanted to do is go dig through cases looking for one stupid Skylander for me. Like, it's not important. I'll be back in a few days when they decide to pull out their stock. I'm not going to bother these poor folks that have to work today.
Yeah, and I did check like the various like Target and store, stock checkers.
Yep.
And I checked it on Friday morning because you can't check it early because it's still register locked, so it doesn't show up in the system, which is why you can't do a stock check on it.
Sure.
But no, I saw it show up and it was like 40. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not really worried about it. Because Amy's like, well, we can go Thursday night. I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it going out for that chaos. But yeah, so that's out there, available at Target.com still, so you can get on there as well. And then finally, again, the Legendary Pit Boss is showing up at Toys R Us. I forgot to post that picture too. I don't know if it's because of the new packaging or the new color scheme or something like that. It blends in completely with the Legendary Tri-Tip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's like, where's Watto? I'm like, is there one there or not? You have to go in. I'm like, there's one, I think. It's weird.
Yeah.
So that's all Wave 3 coming in and going, and who really knows? So, again, people are freaking out because of like different times Wave 3 or different, mid-cycle releases like this, or some of the rarer ones, even back in Trap Team days and stuff. Mm-hmm. But especially with Supercharged on, there hasn't really been a rare figure, anymore. There was that, who was it with, no, that was still Trap Team. Wallop, that one per case kind of thing.
Oh, sure. Barbella seemed to be kind of hard to find right at the beginning.
Sure. But yeah, so there's nothing, the freak out per se is like trying to get out there. I mean, obviously if you want to get out and get it first, that's part of the fun, the hunt of it all, but I wouldn't be worried about like, if you miss it, you're not getting it.
Sure.
Like you could have been with some of the Skylanders releases previously.
But you're probably missing out on the chase variants by not going, so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are out there. Speaking of chase variants, Chain Reaction does have the chase variant so far of Wave 3. It is a bright neon all see-through orange design.
So cool.
So good.
Yeah.
I've tweeted out about it. I enjoyed like the patina ones. We had our fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like other stuff like the copper ones, but nothing in my opinion screams chase variant than like straight solid see-through color like that.
Right.
Like that is what Skylar's chase variants are for me.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to see them back this year.
Because you look at it and you 100% know that it's different than what it should be.
Sure.
Yeah.
And like even the bronze one, like it's like you could tell, or the patina one, like, but it's still something like it seemed like, okay, this could be like a store exclusive kind of a,
exactly,
or some kind of weird thing. But that's like, dang, look at that thing. So I'm glad to see those are coming back, and I'd be okay if that's all they ever did for chase variants.
Sure.
Was that, so super glad to see that. So good luck trying to find that. Again, I'm just glad that chase variants are back this year. So
yep.
Awesome deal with that.
I just want to find one.
Right. So anyways, and then on to the big topic of the show. Some news that broke out last night. I was disconnected pretty much last night watching the football game,
Mm-hmm.
or watching what was attempting to be a football game. And then got wind of this, and then I logged in. I'm like, oh, there we go. So the source is from Leon Robertson, the guy who one of the people in the Unseen 64 YouTube channels, which does a bunch of the videos from like canceled games or footage from different things. So I'm sure you've seen this a bunch of stuff. Was he the one who showed that weird the Battlefield like Roman Empire game? Remember that?
I believe so. Yes.
I think it was from Unseen 64 too.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he does a bunch of really awesome stuff like that. So he has feelers out there. Okay, so he's definitely somebody who's out there. Again, he's not like a personal thing. I'm not discrediting him by any means, but he's not your higher ranked leakers out there either.
Sure.
But it's not like it's some guy out there who's just throwing out random theory videos either.
The rumor didn't start on Reddit, so all of a sudden it has more merit than most of the rumors.
Right. Yeah. Or Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And so again, so he has on there. He did tweet out about superchargers very early on that was going to have vehicles in it, so stuff like that. So he even has some stuff in Skylanders and stuff like that. So again, this is the reason it's a little bit more weighted because not just some Joe Schmo, out there and people are like, oh, it's just a dumb YouTuber. Not really,
Right.
But it's not like you're. Jason's last name. I can never pronounce his last name from Kotaku. But it's not like his level or it's not Patrick Klepek level. Stuff where you should pretty much lock it in.
Sure. Yeah.
But so he did put up a video talking about investigation into what's going on with Skylanders, and it doesn't look good. So he goes on there, said that Skylanders did not perform as well as expected or well as hoped for Imaginators. We saw the tweet the other week from the NPD numbers saying that Skylanders only sold a measly 66,000 units. Starter packs are down 41% year over year, which is obviously not good.
Mm-hmm.
And said that the TV show is not getting the viewership that they had expected either. So just not painting good stuff. So immediately I stopped there, answered some criticism from some people from that. So people are saying, okay, well, a lot of people are still waiting, for Black Friday sales or blah, 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 which is yes, but it's not overwhelming amount.
Right, right.
People going out and launch is still a big number. If it's down that much, that number isn't going to be replicated in Christmas or Black Friday sales. It's not. It's just not.
Right.
So the big number on that. The viewership down on Netflix. Obviously, we have no idea to credit that. So people are like, "How'd they know that?" Well, because when you watch shows, they keep analytics the numbers of that on Netflix. So they know they're not going to release any public information, but. So again, that, to me, that's not a huge surprise either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was advertised, but I think it was advertised in some of the game stuff that wasn't in the starter pack and other stuff. I think so. They didn't push it out there, but is what it is. It's hit or miss kind of thing. I don't even know.
If we talked about it, the series was good. It was enjoyable, but it was also about 3 years too late.
Right.
Like it missed the target of like when Skylanders was at its peak.
Sure. And at the end of the day, it's like same thing. Like it's going to boost some people who are into the game, but again, is it going to attract new audiences per se?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know.
Sure.
But it's fun for the people who enjoy Skylanders, absolutely.
Yeah.
So he goes to talk about that. So anyways, he talked about that after these numbers that Skylanders had some meetings, or Activision had some meetings saying, this was Monday of last week, so Monday before Thanksgiving, and it was like, all right, we need to take a look at this, figure out what we're going to do. And then I guess on Friday they decided to completely halt development of the 2017 Skylanders game, so whatever game was supposed to come out next year.
Mm-hmm.
So again, doesn't it flat out say the game's canceled? Doesn't say, per se, like it's done and over with already. I mean, they halted it, which again, if they're holding it, they're probably not going to restart it either. It is a debate about Toys for Bob. Doesn't have a game they're currently working on then, and so people are always saying, well, no, does Vicarious Visions. Well, remember, they're working on the Crash Bandicoot, so actually it might have been Toys for Bob next year anyways, because Vicarious Visions is busy on that. I mean, unless they're doing a split team, which obviously don't necessarily want that, per se, because, some of the Vicarious Visions Skylanders games have struggled recently, so if it's only even half the staff, that's not good.
And so also, that's, I mean, it's hard to say because was Toys for Bob working on the 2017 game? I don't know. But it's not like they take a year off from game development. Like these games are 2-year development games.
Yep.
So that's how to look at that.
Yeah. So, anyways, he said on there, he said this is from multiple sources, and this is from told him and other people. He didn't list who the other people they told, but other people he apparently has in contact with, other people in the community or scene or journalism, whatever, told other people on that. So this isn't like Joe Schmo told me at a coffee shop per se. And again, he has credibility. Again, it's not like a lock in there. He has been wrong about stuff. But again, even that, I mean, sources, when someone's wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean they got bad information. Stuff changes too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or different people get told something and they interpret it in a different way who then tell that. I mean, it's like whisper down the lane. Not that anyone really got it wrong. They just interpreted what was heard wrong, so stuff like that. So, but again, Patrick Klepek can be wrong but again, that doesn't mean that he's can't be trusted anymore. Just information get interpreted wrong.
Sure.
So, but going on that again, it's obvious. It's 100% obvious that Skylanders is down. You can tell that by going to a store. I mean, if you go and look at product on a shelf, you could go make a Sharpie mark on different figures, come back in a week, and it could be the very same figures on that shelf.
Yeah.
How many of your friends don't play it as much anymore? How many of your friends, aren't interested in how many, all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, we see more sales now, I think, in Skylanders figures than we've seen before. All kinds of different things.
Oh, yeah.
As we talked before, just going into this, this game, which I said before, even on this particular Skylanders game seemed like the most cash grabbed one they've ever done. So, I mean, stuff with the Imaginate crystals, Imaginate chests, which have no purpose whatsoever existing beyond trying to them making money.
Sure.
Which is what it is. I mean, if they posted a lower amount, people bought them, by all means. But, like, when I go to Target, there's a crap load of them. I guarantee you maybe 2 have been bought in the past month.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody's buying that.
No, they were day one purchase, impulse buys because you're excited about the new game. Past that, once you know what they do and once you use them, they're done with. Like, that's it. You're not buying more.
Right. I mean, it's like those gold discs for Toys R Us for the Disney Infinity, remember 1.0?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was buying like 40 of those packs and realizing, holy crap, it's the same disc plus one other random thing.
Yep.
So everybody's getting like 400 of the... Was it Lightning McQueen one was the first one?
I want to say yes. Yeah.
I feel like it was.
Mm-hmm.
But so stuff like that, and then like we were talking off air, brought up Battlecast, and that was... that wasn't a cash grab, but they came up with this great idea. It wasn't supported. In and out. That thing went. The Imaginate crystals in and out. That went. The creation crystals, as we talked about before, there is no developer reason for the way it's set up beyond the fact they just want you to get to buy more of them. I mean, it seems like they're trying to stretch out this money as much as they possibly can. Yeah. Which obviously, yes, they're in a business making thing, but this seems like they can see the end and they're just chucking everything at the wall and trying to make as much money as possible.
Right.
So it doesn't, and again, and this is just my opinion, I've said on this podcast for the last year and a half that 2017 was when I saw the fad going down.
Sure.
Disney Infinity going out is only going to be a time. Skylanders going out, and it's only going to be a time for Lego Dimensions. We said before, if there's going to be one that survives for a long, which obviously Skylanders have survived more years than Lego Dimensions, but as far as in years after this, Lego Dimensions, they're just doing what they already did, making Lego games and making Lego figures and just combining it at once. So theoretically, they could go on forever.
Yeah.
Development costs are low.
And they have such a different audience too, because they're pulling in fans of very specific franchises into the game. Like,
sure,
you could be a Doctor Who fan and be interested in Lego Dimensions because of the Doctor Who stuff. You could be a Portal fan and be like, I want to check out what Portal would be like as Lego. I want to check out Harry Potter in Lego. Sure. If you're a Skylanders fan, you're a Skylanders fan. Like, there's no segregation. There's no, deviation from that. You either like Skylanders or you don't like Skylanders.
Right. And then as we talked before off air, in my opinion here, the Skylanders is getting older. They're getting out of it. Parents getting stuff. But I don't see that many kids now jumping into Skylanders. I don't get very many tweets of, this is our first Skylanders purchase.
Right.
I don't get a lot of, hey, what do I need to buy in a preview? So it seems like the audience is leaving and nothing's taking its place.
Sure.
So it's going down year after year. Supercharged, by all counts, did not sell at all.
Right.
So, and it's, once you lose an audience, it's hard to come back. So to tie them to people say before, like, oh, they could take a year off. Theoretically, yeah, but then they're gone. Like, you lost an audience. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
Some people said about they could just make a game and reuse the same figures. what was making them the money was the figure sales, not the game sales.
Right.
The game sold well, but I think it sold well because of the genre. I don't know if they just made the game. If they made a new game with the same figures, I don't think it would sell very well.
Sure.
People said about the whole, Portal starter pack thing, forcing parents to buy that. I mean, if they drop the Portal out of it, drops $20, kind of a thing. I think a lot of people just buy the new Portal anyways. And again, we had this Portal Owners Pack. Obviously, yes, this one came out late, but like last year, didn't we have one right at launch? I forget, 2 years ago. So, anyways, they've never sold.
Right.
A bunch of people complain about the Portal packs. When you look at it, you still buy the Portal version.
Right.
So
you want the full new experience, but
right. So it is what it is.
You also don't want 6 portals sitting around your house either.
Yeah. But so again, it's at the end of the day, I'm not shocked by any new. Like, I would not be shocked if this was true. Not one bit.
No.
So as we said before, Disney Infinity, I wish we know going into a thing like, hey, this is gonna be the last one. Let's go out and hoorah. Because it's just more fun than like halfway through, like, oh, by the way, we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not shocked by it in any means. I said at the end, it's same thing as Disney Infinity. It's this gonna be the same argument as for this. This doesn't mean that Skylanders is losing money for Activision. Yes, it's still selling well. People are yeses, blah, blah, blah. But it's not making as much money as it has been, as it could be. So they might as well move those resources to something else. Because, again, as Activision, as big as they are, it's not about like a normal game developer. As long as we're making profit and making ends meet, we're going to keep making it. Whereas they could be making 300% doing other stuff.
They have a responsibility to the shareholders to make as much money as possible. And if there is a different way to go about doing that, they are going to explore that option.
Yeah. If they could maybe make another kids game. I mean, I don't know. But we said before, mobile is still getting bigger and bigger. Kids are still doing mobile gaming. Toys R Life does not work with mobile gaming. It seems I don't say it shouldn't work, but people just seem to not enjoy it. So it's
not in its current form of what we know Toys R Life to be. Right.
So it's getting squeezed out. And they doing stuff, but it's just a bunch of. I mean, again, they have. This is the same thing. Argument Disney Infinity. They have what they need to do to succeed. They just choose not to do it. If they could have done Battlecast better, absolutely no problem. If they could communicate better with their releases, no problem whatsoever. They would somehow make the TV show a little bit more incorporated, which they did with the Imagineers, but somehow, I don't know how, but do something more with it. They're so widespread and not combining forces that it's just a convoluted mess.
Yeah. Personally, I will say this. If it turns out to be true, I will be more hurt than I was with Disney Infinity, only because I have a greater attachment to Skylanders. I've been with Skylanders since day one. It was like the first game experience I was able to play with my now 11-year-old son, who was 5 at the time. Like, that was his first, like, this is my game, this is my thing, this is for me type of thing. And I was able to share that with him. And I will always have a special place in my heart for Skylanders because of those memories I have playing that with him and going looking for figures with him and that kind of stuff. Whereas Disney Infinity, I love Disney Infinity, don't get me wrong, but I didn't have that special attachment that I did with Skylanders. I will be more hurt than I was with Disney Infinity, but I will be less surprised than I was with Disney Infinity because the writing does seem to be kind of on the wall here. When Disney Infinity backed out and was canceled, we all sat here and said, if anybody was going to go out first, it was going to be Skylanders because they don't have the franchises behind them to push them into the mainstream audience. They have a made-up IP, essentially, that people don't have nostalgic attachment to. So if anything should have gone first, like, theoretically, it would have been Skylanders on paper. So, like, the business decision part of it, like, I completely understand. It sucks, but it's business, and we all have to be realistic that it is a business. And with, like, Superchargers, with, like you said, Battlecast, with the Netflix show, with just waning interest in the franchise as a whole, unfortunately, like, it does make sense if this is the last one. It sucks, though, because it feels like the same pattern that happened with Disney Infinity, where Disney Infinity 2.0 was such a mess that they lost such a big audience that no matter what they did for 3.0, the new audience they were getting for 3.0 was not equal to the audience they lost with 2.0.
Sure.
And with Skylanders, I feel like that's the same thing. They lost so many people with Superchargers that whatever new audience they might have gotten with Imaginators, it wasn't able to overcome what they lost with Superchargers and in that good faith. And, you know, we were talking about this off air. If this is true, it makes sense for them not to say anything until after the holidays, because they want people to continue buying and continue, you know, investing into this product as much as they possibly can through the holidays. Get every dime they possibly can out of people, and then be like, this is, you know, thanks, but we're out. If it's not true, though, you would have to think by now, 24 hours later, somebody at Activision has heard about this rumor. It is making its rounds. It's not a wildfire yet, but where there is smoke, there is usually fire.
Yep.
So if Activision is aware of this rumor going around, if it's not true, they can't jump on this quick enough, because the longer it continues to just bleed out, if it's not true, you're losing people every day. Because once somebody hears, you know, us diehard collectors and fans, we're going to stick with them until the very end. Right. We know the ship is sinking. We're on it until we're in the water. But the casual audience, once somebody gets wind of Skylanders is canceled, there's not going to be another Skylanders, they're going to stop buying the figures, because guess what? You're not going to have a use for them after this game. Once you play with them and you're done with this game, you're done. That's it. You don't have the opportunity to bring them with you to the next game like they've been advertising for 5 years now. So they're not going to get people buying new stuff, because nobody wants to invest in something that is completely done with.
Sure.
You know, and they're not action figures. They're not something you could actively play with as a kid. They're little figurines. They're little statues that sit there and do nothing. They look cool. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, you can't have awesome battles with them or anything like that. So you're losing people every day by allowing this rumor to circulate.
Right.
And you're going to lose profit every single day, because people are not going to invest in the product. So if it's not true, I beg Activision, I know you're listening, to come out and say, whoa, stop it. The game is still in development. We're still moving along. We're going to continue to roll out all the figures that we've promised. For Imaginators, we have a release schedule. We may not know how a calendar works, but we promise they're coming at some point. You know, like, they need to get out and be in front of it. But the problem with Activision is they don't have that person. They don't have a JV. They don't have an Arthur Parsons that people relate to, that people know, that people can go to on Twitter and directly ask and get responses to. They don't have that figurehead. And because they don't have that, and they aren't doing anything to put this fire out, it looks bad. And it looks like they are just this giant company that doesn't care about their audience. And you've said it time and time again, Skylanders do not care about their customers. And it's sad but true, because look, this is what we're doing. We're sitting here talking about whether or not a game may be canceled, and whether or not we're even going to get the rest of the figures that we're hoping to get for this last game that may be the last time we ever play Skylanders. That sucks. If I don't get Pinata, Jason, I am burning something to the ground. And I can't be held responsible for my actions, because that's on you, Activision. The arson charge that's coming my way is because of you, and I expect you to pay my bail.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the community thing is huge, like you said. There's no one to go to, like, that could time this out without being an official statement, and they're not really going to release an official statement. So I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. And again, they have fan sites, they have fan access, but they never use them. I mean, I guess they can go talk to their YouTubers they seem to love so much.
But the ones that break embargo and continue to leak stuff out, and they continue to. Yeah. Okay.
and
Cool.
spread misinformation and make my job harder. But
Sure.
anyways,
No big deal.
but yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do, but like looking, I mean, one, we said before, Disney got canceled in their financial report. That's when that news came out.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of people think this could happen with that same thing. That's not till February, so we're still a long way away. They just had one at the beginning of November. But then as far as stuff like that going into this, think there's no comic line this year. They didn't have a new comic line. There's no accessories, no Powerade, nobody else making accessories this year for Imaginators. There was no guide for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
No official guide on that. No Toys R Us midnight launch or a midnight launch anywhere. Go into your Toys R Us and the stock is what, a fourth of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that big huge wall that a lot of Toys R Us has had. I mean, I remember Trap Team had a front display, the front little QI they have there, plus their back, you know, against the big old wall in the back. I mean,
which is huge. That's the first thing you see when you walk into a store.
Right. And they got none of that, you know, so everything's everything's cut back. They're not investing in stuff as much.
Yeah.
So again, this is all my thing that my personal opinion, 100% think it's true. I don't even have a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see. I'd love to be wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
I'd love to be wrong. But
I mean, selfishly, I want it to be wrong. For our community, I want it to be wrong. But you know, we also have to be the bearer of bad news, and we have to be realistic about it, and we have to be here for the community when it does happen as support. And you know, it will be much like Disney Infinity. It will be a sad day for a lot of people, and that sucks. But
and like I said, and it's as much as I make fun of Disney Infinity all the time for different stuff. If this was something that happened on that, like if this came out of Disney Infinity, I posted that, I would have got an email in like 3 hours tops, being like, "This isn't true."
Right.
You know, but Skyler isn't going to email me. They send me their press releases 6 hours after they go out. You know, I'm like, thanks. I already put all this news up. You could have sent me this at the beginning of the day.
Right. So, I don't know, man. Hold out hope, but
I think at the end of the day, like because people blame, you know, at the end people were like, oh, well, this is because parents are burned out and stuff like that. And like I understand that argument, but I think at the end of the day, Skylanders did it themselves. They have no one to blame.
Sure,
they did it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to pick at and say this is what caused it, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's about money. And I mean, as much as we love the figures, we love collecting them, we love playing with them, we love using toys in video games, and we love the escapism that it gives us, and the collecting and the community and everything like that, like, it still is just about profit for Activision.
Yep.
So, yeah, it, I mean, we'll see. We will see, but, I mean, obviously they will want to get out whatever they have manufactured as far as figures are concerned, but whatever they haven't already produced, do you see them going forward with production on it?
I mean, they'd have Wave 3, obviously it's already out. Wave 4 would already be out in production, and that's getting all processed.
Right.
So it'd be similar to what Disney Infinity was, but so anything else was come out beyond like the March wave would, you know, if this is true, would be halted, but
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it maybe just drastically scaled back. You know, if they really cared and they wanted to save face a little bit and at least send it off with the thought of, if we don't piss everybody off, if we decide to come back in a couple years, we'll still have an audience that will embrace us and welcome us back. But if they just pull out and don't release the figures that they've promised, and they just basically just disappear into the night, they have to be gone forever, because they can't, in a couple years, they can't be like, oh, guess what? Spyro's finally back. You know, our last 2 games sucked because we didn't have Spyro in them, but now Spyro's back, and he has this all new adventure, and look at these cool toys. Nobody's going to care. People will be like, well, you did it to us before. You did us dirty. Done. Wipe our hands clean of you. It was the same argument you had with Disney Infinity when people were saying, what if somebody picks up the IP and tries to make the game? It's tainted. People aren't going to invest in a product that has proven not to be successful. So that's that, man. We'll keep everybody posted as we know something. When news hits, we'll be one of the first talking about it, I'm sure. If we have to have an emergency podcast one of these nights because of it, so be it. But we need to kind of clear the air of what we know, what we don't know, what to expect, and whatnot. Yeah, that's that.
Yep.
Skylanders. Let's move on to Amiibo, shall we?
Let's do it.
Amiibo, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our dear friend Michael O'Driscoll. You can find Michael on Twitter at amiibo_museum. Now, Michael usually doesn't have us promote anything for his sponsorship. We talked about his great work at summer camp over the summer. That wasn't really a sponsorship, more or less just letting him know that we were thinking about him. But Michael has finally has something for the audience and the community to talk about. He wants to point people in a direction. Michael O'Driscoll is engaged to... Okay, let's just start over here. A few weeks back, Michael O'Driscoll in our Facebook group drops a bombshell, right? Out of nowhere. And he's like, hey, so my fiance, she's kind of a singer. She's coming out with a pop album. It's on iTunes, like, right now. What, Michael O'Driscoll? You've been holding out on us this entire time? You're engaged to a singer who has an album that you could buy on iTunes? Like,
it's not something everybody can say.
No, not at all. And you would think, after all this time of knowing Michael O'Driscoll, that might have been something he would have shared with us at some point, right?
Sure.
I guess he's a private guy. He keeps his things to himself, but he's super proud of his fiance. Her name is Anya. It's spelled Ania. She is a singer, and she just released a new album. It's called And the Light Comes In. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it anywhere albums are sold. It is a 100% legit album. If you're worried about buying music on iTunes that you're unsure about, Spotify is fantastic for that kind of stuff. Absolutely fantastic. It is on Spotify. Please go check it out. I checked it out. I liked it. It is super good. He has every right to be proud of his fiance. And first of all, congratulations to them for being engaged. I don't know when the wedding is. I don't know when our invitations are coming in the mail. But also congratulations to his fiance, Anya, for putting out this album. And, like I said, he has every right to be proud of her. So I want to encourage everybody. He was super nervous about asking for this. He was like, I don't know if this is the proper place to advertise something. It's like, no, Michael, you're part of the community, right? You are in the community. You are part of this family. Our community will embrace it. I'm not asking everybody to go buy the album. Sure, that would be great if you would. But I implore you, check it out first. Check it out on Spotify. Spotify, it's a subscription, but there's also a free version of Spotify, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. You're paying nothing just to go check it out, see what you think. If it's your type of music, if you like what you hear, you could throw them a couple bucks, buy her album. So Anya, Ania, is her name. The name of the album is And the Light Comes In. Go check it out, please. Thank you. What's going on with Amiibo, Jason?
Yeah, so Amiibo this week, we have a Amiibo release week this week. This coming Friday, the December 2nd, is the Legend of Zelda 30th Anniversary series of Amiibo. There's 3 releases, 4 figures total. coming out this Friday. We are getting the Toon Link and Toon Zelda amiibo double pack. In addition to that, we're also getting Link with the Ocarina of Time, with the little Ocarina Fluke there. And then finally getting the 8-bit Link figure to match your modern 8-bit Mario 2 amiibo that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thing's so funny to me. I think, what was the Black Friday deal I saw? You could get both for like $8 or something like that at Walmart.
Right. Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Are
you okay with the nose?
Some people have talked about it, but I haven't. I mean, I'll have to see it in person, I guess.
Sure.
I haven't noticed anything, but I know a couple of people said so. I know Malik. I think it was Malik who posted about today too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll have to look at it close. I don't know if I really recognize much of an issue, but
I mean, of course, Link has a nose, but I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be so prominent. Like,
sure,
it seems a little weird.
I will say this: like at the end of if Amiibo ends or like anything like if I stop buying Amiibo or anything like that, I will always buy an 8-bit whatever they make.
Yeah,
they keep making stuff in that style. I just love it so much.
Sure.
So yeah, it's all available this Friday. What did they do? Nobody knows.
Right.
But they do have a Breath of the Wild logo on the back.
Right.
So maybe something.
Which people are freaking out about, and I sat here and I was like, well, duh. Of course they're going to have Breath of the Wild logo on the back. Like, every Zelda amiibo is going to work in Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it's out there, so we'll see. But they look great so far, so should be a fun line in there. So it might be some nice Christmas gifts for some people.
Sure.
Before the at least 2, maybe 3 Link amiibo come out next year.
Right. Question mark?
Where the frick the spider went? Nintendo's like, what are you talking about? I don't remember. The spider?
That didn't exist.
Yeah.
These are the last amiibo coming out in 2016. Next one is Poochie in what, January?
February.
Okay. So we'll see. We'll see what Nintendo's strategy is concerning amiibo going forward. They don't seem to be relying on them too much. They don't seem to be too excited about amiibo and amiibo functionality. Maybe they're just holding everything back for the Switch. We don't know yet, but it's amiibo is what it is. People that love amiibo still love amiibo. The craze, the hype is not there, but they're still fun to get. They're fun to collect, and that's about all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I will say that, preface that because I forgot to bring it on there. When the Skylanders news came out, and they were like, people were like, oh my gosh, amiibo killed somebody else.
No, stop.
Literally tell me one person who was like, you know what? I'm going to stop buying Skylanders. You know what? I'm going to stop buying Disney Infinity and just buy amiibo.
Right.
I literally cannot name you a single person.
If anything, amiibo kept Skylanders going for another year.
Sure. Was going through but I don't think I can name you a single person who just dropped it for thing. And again, amiibo smashed, and even that that lasted how long, and now it just doesn't sell at all. I mean, so it's selling, but it's not like it's it's just Nintendo fanboys being Nintendo fanboys. But
yep. That won't change.
I will say, instant mute alert. If the news becomes official and you tweet at me saying amiibo killed it, you're getting muted.
Sure.
But
you want to say something about Lego Dimensions killing it? We'll have that conversation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Amiibo? No, look, when people are talking about like the Toys to Life bubble exploding, every conversation I've seen so far has said there's only going to be one franchise left. And guess what? That's Lego Dimensions. Nobody is saying there's 2 franchises left. No, because amiibo, nobody is even counting as a Toys to Life franchise anymore. They're just cool figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so we'll just dead that argument right now.
But yeah, so I'm excited about these.
Absolutely. They look so good.
I might just get the 8-bit one, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, they just look awesome, man. They look so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Ocarina of Time one. That kind of has a special feeling to it.
Yeah, something about that one in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think because we already have a Toon Link,
Sure.
So this is kind of like a repose, redesign of a 2 Link, but like that Ocarina one, that doesn't look like any other amiibo we have.
No, and like I said, depending on how that Link Archer one goes, if that one even comes close in final production of what it looks like, press shots and what we saw like early at E3 and stuff, man, that thing's gorgeous.
Yep. Yeah. So, hey, Zelda fans, this is an awesome thing. This is an awesome way to celebrate 30 years of Zelda. I don't know why Metroid didn't get this kind of love, but hey, what do I know? Just saying, Ridley amiibo would have been amazing. Samus in a ball, a morph ball. Just saying, Nintendo, you dropped the ball. Lego Dimensions. Lego Dimensions is sponsored.
I jumped ahead of you. Sorry, continue.
I mean, we don't have to talk about the sponsor.
No, we do though.
We probably should.
We should. Absolutely should.
Absolutely should. This week, Lego Dimensions is going to be sponsored by our friend Christopher Long over at Long's Toys. You can find Chris on Twitter at CLong83. That's the letter C, Long83. And check out his YouTube page, youtube.com/user/LongsToys. Lego Dimensions, what's going on?
I will say, too, be sure to subscribe to Long's Toys on YouTube.
Yes.
Live vicariously through him with multiple different toy things. I'm
yeah.
Like, that looks cool. That looks cool.
That man is dedicated to release days.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like, we do pretty good, right? But we've waned on some things. Like, we don't do Tsum Tsums on release day anymore. Like, there's a lot of things that we are haphazardly getting when we have time or when we see...
Sure.
Like, day one, morning of, first in line, he's out there. Like, I don't know how he does it, but hats off to him.
YouTube.com/Longs Toys.
Go there.
Hit that big old red subscribe button.
Yes, please. Do that. For him, for us, for the community.
Pause this, go do that, come back.
Well,
But yes.
I mean, you can multitask.
If you want to.
Sure.
Can iPhones do multitasking yet? Is that a thing?
I mean, you could listen to a podcast in the background.
Oh, wow.
That is
they
a
had
thing.
That feature like last year?
Like forever ago? Like I'm pretty sure that was like launch day one.
Don't think it was.
Day one.
But
no, I'm totally kidding. Once YouTube kicks on, it bumps everything off. You open up YouTube, everything's gone. Dominates the conversation. It's like, I just want to go to YouTube. I'm not necessarily looking to watch any videos. It's like, no, you're done listening to your podcast right now. You're done.
Gets my new hatred for background or autoplay videos because Chrome does it now, like in your background. So like you're sitting there and like sometimes it takes a while for it to load. So I'll be on a website and like I'll get off it. So I hit the home button. So the tab's still active, obviously in the background.
Yep.
And I'll be like texting on someone's talking. I'm like, what the fudge is this noise? And I'm like going through and like I pull down the notification bar and it's like, I'm like, what the heck is that? And like I click it and it's like some website. I'm like, who still does autoplay?
You know what the worst site is for autoplay videos? And I can't figure out how to turn it off yet. ESPN.com.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it? No, isn't there? I think there's a little. Oh no, this is an old layout. The new one, I don't think it lets you.
No, I can't find it anywhere. I struggle going to the website because I don't want to be bombarded with autoplay videos. I don't care what one of their talking heads thinks about Ohio State.
Sure.
I just don't.
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to click here real quick.
But they make me listen to a video every freaking time.
There is the gear button and there is a check mark for the autoplay in there. I don't know if it shows up on mobile or anything.
No, I'm just talking about like just in the browser itself.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there should be a settings icon. They can disable it on there.
Like on
Either
favorites?
Way.
Like on the favorites over on the left?
No, like when you like click on an article, like under top headlines on the main page, like Michigan falls out of CFP top 4.
Yep.
After loss, click on that, and then the video's at the top. Click play, or it's already playing.
Oh,
and there's like
bogging down now.
And then in the bottom right corner is like the share icon, the closed captions icon, and then the gear icon. You can go in there and you can check the autoplay button.
Nope, ESPN froze for me. We're both doing it at the same time, so it's like, no, you're done.
Like that time we crashed that toy website.
Look, both of us being on at the same time was way too much traffic.
was one of the best days of my life.
God, that was so good.
Lego Legends, yeah. Long story. Love you, buddy. But yeah, so Green Arrow, remember this past week, came out. GameStop seemed a lot of people having success with it, being able to pick up on that. So a lot of people have taken advantage of sales. I did pick up everything on sale. Like story packs were what, $20 off or whatever the heck that was.
Mm-hmm.
Big cut on that, so I'm glad I waited on that. Fun packs were like $7.99, I think. Whatever it was. I did the 3 for $20
at Toys R Us.
At Toys R Us. Got Marceline the day before they pulled her.
Oh, you're so lucky. I tried to get Marceline and they're like, no go.
Yeah, and that's a curious thing with same thing with Lego Dimensions. We shouldn't let them skip away either. What the fudge is going on with that? Some information on that would be kind of appreciated. Yeah. Lego. And here's the thing I don't understand. Like I went on a little rant where we were texting about it. What the fudge was there to screw up? It's a tag that has like 5 lines of data on it.
Do you know what I heard from the Toys R Us employee?
What?
From their email that they got? The tags, it's not like they messed up the code or whatever. They didn't have the NFC chip in them.
Oh, really?
They sent out the tags without putting the NFC chip in.
I heard the people saying it was just that the tags just were corrupt on it, and that you couldn't save because it would load, but you couldn't save some stuff on it, like on the vehicles or something.
Yeah. Well,
because I heard it. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, it was a cluster
misinformation, and that's only happening because they're not saying anything.
And yeah, all I can say is, hey, we screwed up.
Whoops.
And you could throw in some fun, stupid pun in there, and then call it a day. Here's my opinion, though. Whatever Toys R Us paid to get the early exclusive, they better get all that money back and then some.
Oh, 100%.
I'd be pissed if I was Toys R Us. But yeah, so anyways, if you haven't found Marceline, that's why I haven't talked about it, because I don't really know what to say, because I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's out there. But anyways, got 3 for $20 on that. Level pack was what, $14 or whatever it was. So in all, I saved like $60.
Oh yeah,
whatever
easy.
It was. Waiting a week. Haven't even opened them yet because obviously that rolled in the weekend, then again for Black Friday, and then haven't gotten them here since. So excited to check it out. But that reminded me on there for the Fantastic Beasts story pack.
Yep.
Okay. Did you go see the movie yet?
I did. Thanksgiving Day.
I haven't gone and seen it yet.
Oh god, it's so good.
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this, if you first time listening to the show, I'm doing this on purpose. Newt Salamander.
Uh-huh.
He has a wand.
Yeah, he does.
What's the other important piece with Newt Salamander?
His briefcase.
What the fudge? Is there not a Lego Dimensions briefcase with him?
Missed opportunity, that's why.
I didn't even realize it, because I just assumed that's like a logical thing. It's like sending Batman without his mask.
Yeah.
And
maybe they just don't want a figure to be holding 2 items, I guess?
That's a bunch of bullcrap.
Oh, I know. I'm just telling you a reason that they would possibly have for it.
So I was shout Toxic Nova Games tweeted me and said something about it, and I was like, when he said it, I'm like, that can't be right. Like I didn't even notice because I just logically assumed it was there, And I'm like, huh? Because there's a Lego briefcase, like it's in a thing. It's not like they have to make a new piece. So, way to go, Master Builders! You screwed that one up.
Very much so. It was
very much so.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that either until just now. But come on, that's a given.
I don't understand. I'm trying to look now at previous figures, see if anybody had 2 items. I feel like somebody did.
I can't think of anybody holding 2 items.
Yeah, I was right. Gamer. He had the coin and the cup.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, that excuse is out the window now.
So, I don't think we had him looking through. I don't think I see anything else besides characters holding like a big weapon in both hands. But
sure,
that's not really the same thing. But I don't know. Stupid.
No, it's a fun build though. I will tell you that. Yeah. The Niffler, building the Niffler is fantastic.
And
I'm happy with this wave. I really am.
Yeah. I will say on attached to that, next one obviously we're getting is the Lego Batman. one.
Mhm.
Let me talk about real Legos for a second.
Fine.
The Lego Batman series that's coming out right now, holy crap, is just amazing set after amazing set after amazing set. The Batmobile and the Joker, ones that are out right now, freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, it's not gonna get any better than this. And they have like the Arkham Asylum looks great, but like they're the bigger sets I don't really want to buy.
Sure.
Did you see the leak today?
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
They're killing it.
The Penguin one is phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you want to go in there, it's on my Twitter account before Lego contacts Twitter and takes it down for me without giving me an option. But it's on my Twitter page. Somebody else leaked it, so it's fair game.
I have a feeling Lego Batman movie, I think I'm going to love even more than I did the Lego movie.
Dude, the soundtrack to Black and Yellow is so good with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, set 70911, the Penguin Arctic Roller. Please, if you haven't bought a Lego set, please look at that thing. It's so good. And then Scarecrow Special Delivery. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't deal with these. And there's like the Clayface one, the Clay Monster.
Yep.
It looks so good too. I'm buying all of these. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lego gets so crazy.
But they was that tied into it. I did buy Lego on Black Friday. Target had like a deal on like 4 different sets for like $30 or whatever it was.
Sure.
So I bought like the Batman one. It was off like 20. It was like 50% off. I'm like, whatever. It's like some the gorilla from the DC Comics universe. That's in the Flash TV show right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not Zod.
No.
I know who you're talking about. Keep going.
I'm googling it because Gorilla Garad.
There we go.
Is going after it's like a banana stand thing.
Nice.
100% it's Michael Bluth in the banana costume. You have to go look at it. It matches up exactly to his costume in the TV show, his outfit. So good.
There's always money in banana stand.
But yeah. Also, apparently the 2 leaks today came from someone in the media who decided to post a picture and forgot he was under embargo. But whoops. So, anyways, but the only problem I have to set, you're getting like the exact same Batman in like all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have like 4,000 Batman.
Sure.
All these sets.
Can you
But
ever have
who cares?
too much Batman?
Nope. In the Lego Batman minifigure series, oh my gosh! But
when are those supposed to come out?
January, February.
Cool.
Ugh. But yeah. So then back on topic here. Arthur Parsons did do an AMA on Reddit, on the AMA subreddit, not the Lego Dimensions subreddit. If you want to go check it out, talked in there, did what he does best. Again, does he have PR? Does PR have any power over him? He's been out there like how many years at TT Games?
He's a wild card. He does what he wants.
No one puts Arthur Parsons in a corner. 17 years at TT Games.
Jimmy tried and Jimmy failed.
I would like to see a PR person tell him what he can and cannot say. I would love to see it. Like, okay. You go bye-bye now.
Go make a few Lego games and then we'll talk.
So he goes on, basically just like puts a bunch of plans out there. It's so funny. He's like, I can't really answer that. And then like you scroll down and then he answers the question like 5 minutes later that somebody else asked. Like, who is monitoring this?
No one.
So I didn't really make an article about it because a lot of it's like tongue in cheek and this Arthur Parsons, pulling basically the anything's possible or Disney Infinite Possibilities kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm like, I started writing the article and I'm like, I don't even know where to take this because like I don't know if I want to categorize. I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you can go check it out if you want to. The main thing on there that I want to say, he again confirmed without saying it. Someone asked him about Lantern Constructability, which is currently the exclusive ability for Supergirl, and whether that be coming to the Powerpuff Girls.
Yep.
And he's like, I think his quote was, let me pull it up because it's just like.
Wait, did you just say that?
Yeah. Let me pull it up because it's so funny. Where is this? Yeah. So he says, probably not something I could say as we haven't revealed that pack yet. But if I was to say, wouldn't that be awesome? And we like to do awesome things. That may be an answer.
Okay,
Arthur.
This is the same guy that told us to our face that he didn't know Supergirl existed.
Yeah. Well, no, he knew it existed. He didn't know how it was going to be released.
Oh, you sure?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
He says he knows it's out there, but he has no idea how it's coming.
No idea what the plan is.
Yeah, he said, you probably know better than I do.
Yeah.
But, which is probably true because, again, he doesn't know. He just makes it,
Sure.
It's all up to marketing when they want to do stuff. But yeah, so he talked about different stuff about, like, coming to the Switch, different characters. Someone commented, like, would you incorporate characters like Mario, who would only be usable on one console? And he wrote, like, interesting, Oh, what the fuck does that mean, Arthur? But yeah, so Powerpuff Girls is a lot of things he talked about there. It goes back and forth because it's weird when people ask playable character can be different than having a minifigure. Because you can have a minifigure and still be, one minifigure, but have multiple playable figures off of that.
Right.
So, but it seems like the Powerpuff Girls are each going to have their own individual thing. And again, they're going to have the first ever molded heads and that weird sideways egg shape or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So excited to get those, but that's the one I'm legitimately most excited about just to see in person, because if they are doing the unique head mold, it's going to look exactly like a Powerpuff Girl because the rest of the body looks like a Lego person.
Right.
So,
I mean, same like the Gremlins. I mean,
yeah,
they look like Gremlins with Lego bodies.
Yep.
So, let me ask you this. It's something that I keep forgetting about. So we've had 2 story packs now. We've had the Ghostbusters story pack, and we have Fantastic Beasts out now. The Lego Batman is coming. Do we know of any other story packs?
No. Our long theory is that there's a 4th one, but there's only evidence and there's literally not an ounce of evidence there could be a 4th one. But that's just our ongoing theory.
That's what I thought, but I was like, was that about a 5th one, or was that about a possible 4th one? Because I couldn't, in my head, think of what the 4th one would have been.
No, our ongoing theory that you and I have conducted up is that there is a franchise out there that is going to be added to Lego Dimensions that they have not even talked about yet, and that's going to be a story pack.
Right. Rogue One. It has to be a movie. If there is a 4th one, it has to be a movie, because that's what these story packs are, is retelling the story of a movie that is coming out that they're trying to capitalize on, day and date, essentially, or as close to it as possible.
An untitled Disney live action movie coming out next summer. Which I don't understand how that's a thing. Like, there's a movie coming out in July. We don't even know what it is. It's an untitled live action princess movie.
Okay, Disney. Okay. I was just trying to figure out if there was a 4th one, and if we knew about a 4th one and I was forgetting it, or if the 4th one was the one that we were speculating about. But
right.
Interesting indeed.
And yeah, so people brought up about, like, doing Lego Dimensions does having one starter pack and doing the rest of these. But again, like, how many starter packs are they selling now? Right. I honestly don't know. I don't even have a guess. Sure. But then, like, the story packs, and people are getting mad saying about, like, this, but they're still spending $50-$60 and they wish they could get it without the Legos themselves, but they kind of price themselves into a corner. They have to do something, to make their price wise right. And obviously they have to do this to keep some kind of cash flow coming in, because they can't operate on just sales of level packs and fun packs. They would not get a large enough income off of those. I guarantee that.
Right.
So.
Lego Dimensions.
Also, Lego related. Lego World's coming to consoles. Sign me the heck up. Yeah,
they were teasing that for about a month. The countdown every day.
I didn't even want to tweet about it because I'm like, it's obviously what it has to be.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't even want to bring it up, because if I get super hyped about it and it's some stupid thing, I'm gonna be ticked, and I'm gonna make a bunch of other people tick. So I'm not even gonna tweet about it. But every day I was checking out, and I'm like, it's got to be it. If they don't do it, I'll be so pissed.
Right.
But coming middle of February.
Yeah. Excited?
I'm super excited.
Gonna build your own racetrack and race around in Lego cars?
I don't even know. Hope they have some kind of dynamite. I just want to crash cars and blow things up. That's all I
Sure.
want to do.
Yeah, makes sense.
Lego Racers, also one of the best Lego games of all time.
Controversial statement.
False. behind Lego Island. Nothing touches Lego Island. Did you watch that video I tweeted you a while ago?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think you tweeted me. Usually I tweet you and you just ignore me.
No.
Like, I'll sit there and be like, man, he's not even liking my tweet. Like, this is sad.
I definitely tweeted you.
Was I on vacation? Was I in Disneyland?
Nope. Mentioning these accounts, the noise.
It's the only way I would have missed it.
Let's take a look here. October 14th.
I'll have to go back and check it out.
You liked it.
That's me saying I acknowledge the fact that you tweeted me, but I'm not going to go any further with this. If I don't respond, then I have nothing else to say. So, let's move on. Let's talk about a game we've been waiting for a very long time. A game that we got to try firsthand back at PAX East in, March? Was that March? April? I don't even remember.
I think it was March.
That sounds right. We had them on our podcast to talk about the game, to talk about the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter got funded. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Beasts of Balance. Beasts of Balance is sponsored by our good friend James Holian over in the UK. You can find him on Twitter at Infinity Museum. I hope all is well with James. He's been semi-quiet on Twitter as of recently. He'll respond to us every now and then, but, he's a busy guy. He's doing busy things over in the UK, I'm sure. So, just want to let James know that we're thinking about him. We still love him. But he's going to allow us to talk about, finally, Beasts of Balance. It's here, Jason.
It's here.
We each have our copy of the game.
It was so surreal sitting here today opening it up, and I'm like, it happened. It's here. Like,
yeah.
It's a thing.
Which version did you get? Did you get the one with like the tribal art on them?
No, I got the standard one.
Okay. I think I flipped a few extra bucks for the deluxe version, but
I was going back and forth, and I was like, I forget why I had some rationale, but I had some rationale.
I'm sure you did. It made sense at the time, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like opening the package and pulling out the physical version of this game that we heard about, we talked to the guys about, we saw in person, like 3D printed models of the figures at PAX. We played it. We had fun with it. But like, it's just felt like such a long journey that we've been a part of. Like, we were included when they were changing their name to avoid any confusion with Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. We have been in constant contact with the development team, from Sensible Object, Alex, and the other 5 Alexes that work in the studio. I would consider them friends of the show without question, and it is super surreal to have seen this process go from we're launching a Kickstarter to we now have this game in our possession and we are playing it, we are holding it, this is ours to keep forever.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So bizarre, but so awesome.
Yeah. I'm planning on doing, so I've already opened it up. Me and Val and the kids, we played last night for almost 2 hours playing it. Just one game after another, learning. I'm trying to teach them things that I know based on just how the game is played, but it's one of those things you can't really plan too far ahead because every single game is different, every single stack is different, every single move is different. So we're just trying different things. We're learning how the beasts and the objects fit into each other and on top of each other, and it was so fun, so amazingly fun. But I couldn't help it. We had to play it last night, but I've put everything back in. I'm going to do a full unboxing video. I want to do like a full photo shoot of like all the figures and the beasts because they are so beautiful. They're so well done. You commented on this. The packaging itself,
so good,
of the game, just how the beasts are laid out, and you pull out the tray of the beasts, and then there's the tower, and then there's all the objects underneath it. Like, everything has a particular place, and everything is placed so perfectly in this box. It's amazing.
So good.
I love
like it's because it's one of those things like, I think it's just because we saw like the initial product and then like going from that, so we have like a better appreciation of it. But obviously it's all in prototypes and stuff like that. But like when they released like the official box art, I'm like, dang, that looks good.
Yeah.
And like all the new art style, like they pay that guy, commission that guy to do like the new arts and everything for it. And I'm like, it just keeps getting better and better. And the website started looking better and better. And you get the packaging, and like the box has like the nice little like slit, the black ring around it, to lift it up. And then how the figures are laid in there, the plastic design, like it's just stuff in there. I'm like, this is for them to be in their first shipped game from this company. Like it's so good. Like I was not to like discredit them or anything, but like I was expecting it just to be like a box of them like being foamed in there, but this is like a professional, legitimate box, and I'm like, dang.
It's a package that I could see in any board game shop and hobby shop out there, anywhere.
Absolutely.
Like it fits in with any product on the shelf. Like it is so well done. The attention to detail, the art style is superb. Like it just pops. The colors just pop. I got my playmat separately. I didn't get it until today. And as soon as I got home from work, I saw it and I opened it up and I unrolled it. I'm just like, oh my God, this playmat is beautiful.
I could sleep on that thing.
I'm so glad I got it because it is amazing looking. Just they've just done so good with this. I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy for them for putting this out and for it being what they dreamed about putting out so many months ago. Like this is their dream in reality and so much more. They went above and beyond any promises they made about what it would be. And I'm going to do a full review. I'm going to do videos of playing it and all that kind of stuff. I want to give them as much coverage of this as possible because it's so good. It's so amazing that we were part of it, that we and our community was part of this process of it happening. And yeah, I got the Omni Beast as well, which was an additional beast add-on.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get the lion one though.
Sure.
For one, I was a little maybe a little bit, part of me was a little bummed out that another podcast YouTube host was the inspiration for a beast.
Sure.
And kind of petty of me, but I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want that. It's not a plush jellyfish, but I kind of want it because I kind of want like a full collection. I feel like I'm missing something from the experience.
Everything within me had to not get the handmade ones too, because it's so beautiful each piece.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I get that one, I don't want to play with that one. I want that to fit. So I was like, now I have to buy another thing.
I want to get a glass case with lights, and I want to like just have those displayed because they're so beautiful. Bear carved out of wood.
It's so pretty.
Get out of here. Get out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you haven't had a chance to play it yet. I mean, you just got it today, then we started podcasting. I've played a little bit of it. There's still so much to explore with it. Have you played around with the app at all?
No.
Okay. Very well done. Very easy to use. So simple. Very few button prompts, like just arrows to advance, and everything is nice and bright and perfectly clear what you need to do, what you have to do. There's a little tutorial once you start it up for the first time. It just kind of tells you, hey, put warthog here, put this object here. Okay, have fun, bye. And it's like, okay, cool, I get how this works now. It's that simple. So Kudos. Beasts of Balance. Yay. You did
Good.
it. I'm so glad that people are getting them, that people are finally getting to play them. This is going to be something that I take to friends' houses, that friends will come over and play, that family will play. Like, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, hey, you guys want to play a game? Let's roll this out and have some fun with this. You know, it's like adult Jenga, you know, add in some adult beverages and, you know, it could make for some just amazing play sessions with friends and family. So, it's going to be fun, man. Good job. I now I'm to the point where I'm just like, are they going to release more beasts? Like,
Sure.
what do they have planned next? You know, like, what's the next add-on item? Because I need that in my life, whatever it is. There's a DIY
Yep.
that you could get, which is just like the NFC stickers, basically, that you can just put onto whatever objects you want. That's dangerous, man. I was looking at that. I'm like, God, what objects would I pick? Like that's a lot of pressure.
Find objects in the house. I need this.
Sorry, it's part of the game now. It has the sticker. You see the sticker. Yeah. So we'll have more to talk about as we each get a chance to play it more and experience it. But just definitely want to take a little bit of time to talk about how great it is that we finally have it, that it is exactly what we were promised it would be, and even more so, and just how happy I am for that entire team, because they worked so hard to make this happen. So that's it, Jason.
I'm excited to play it, though. I'm hoping... See, I probably can't... Because I need to go to my brother and sister's house to play. You know, they're board game people, so I'd go over there, but I don't know when we'll have any time to do it. Maybe Friday night. So, who knows? I'm excited, though. I was hoping... It is what I mean. That's obviously the border thing. I was really hoping to have it in time for Thanksgiving. But I will tell you, it's going to get the crap played out at Christmas time, so...
Right. Absolutely. Let's move on to our community question, shall we?
Let's do it.
This week, the community question, the person that has the response of the week is going to win a mystery box, courtesy of us, Toys for Games. I'll send you a box with at least 3 items in it. Might be more. Might be a lot more. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what will be in there? It will be handpicked and sometimes curated for the specific person that wins. Sometimes it won't be. But either way, it's fun to do. People that have received them have seemed to like them, and I enjoy sending them out. So let's give one away, shall we?
Let's do it.
The community question this week was... I think I was hungry when I wrote this. Like, it was pretty close to lunchtime, and I was like, man, I don't want it to be about Skylanders canceling because we don't know if it's true, and once it happens, like, that's definitely going to be a community question, and I don't want to talk about Black Friday, and man, I'm hungry. What's the better food? Thanksgiving or Christmas? Why? And what makes your choice better than the other? I feel like you have some opinions on this one.
Oh, I have some opinions.
Yeah. You want to talk about your opinion first, or you want to read the responses?
Oh, I'll do it last.
Okay.
So I haven't read any responses. I typically do now because it's more fun to read them live on air without looking at them. But I will say, I will get to it in a second. Shout out to Sergio for tweeting in about some other related issue because he bumped down some of the mentions for the Toys for Games podcast because Sebastian's GIF of the Christmas tree decorating was stuck on my timeline for like 5 hours because it was like he tweeted like right at the end of like the big rush of it.
Right.
And it's just been sitting there. Sergio thankfully tweeted out like 3 times to the podcast, so it bumped that off of the timeline. I was like, if I see this cookie decorating one more time, I'm gonna flip. I was getting so hungry for Christmas cookies. But so community question: better food, Thanksgiving or Christmas? Why? What makes your choice better than the other? So we got Long's Toys here saying Christmas. My father-in-law makes turkey croquettes. That sounds delicious, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but sign me up.
We got James Hollian says all food that's cooked by my wife at any time of the year. Marrying a professional chef is one of my better ideas. That's a fantastic idea.
Wow.
Should have thought about that.
There's still time for you, Jason.
That's true.
Yeah.
This also
Still
sounds
time for Amy to become a chef. Also,
absolutely. Her and I are both terrible cooks. Well, false. I'm good at cooking. Like if I have everything,
sure.
Her and I are just really bad at like just making stuff and buying. Like if I have the directions, oh man, I can pull it off like no one's business. I
Sure.
chuck the salt and pepper around like nobody.
Oh yeah.
But this James' tweet also seems like an invite. So
I mean, the UK's calling our name.
Jess Carter, Penguin 852 says we do the exact same food for both. We do the exact same food for both for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Sorry, it reminded me. My cousin is going to the UK next year in the spring.
Okay.
I told him that could be on course for another, royal wedding because Prince Harry, whoever it is now,
sure,
is in some serious relationship.
Okay.
I was thinking if that's the same time frame, I'm going out there to go to the royal wedding. And that tying into that means it's perfect time to go see James Holly and stuff. So if the royal wedding happens next year, we're going and getting, enjoying the whole entire fun jazz of it all.
How does one become invited to the royal wedding?
If you're in the country, you're invited. That's a rule.
Oh wow. Okay.
So.
Oh. Okay.
And you got to buy the dumb plates that they make. Like they always make.
Don't even care.
Yeah, I'll buy all kinds of fun stuff.
You don't have to take them home with you, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we could chuck them at people or something.
Yeah, just add to James Holian's stack of plates.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thankful Carrie says Christmas because we have Mexican food for Christmas dinner, enchiladas and tamales. What?
Okay. Here's the thing. Tamales is definitely a thing for Christmas. The one thing that I desperately want to get back into a tradition. Like in California, it was a tradition. I know a few people up here that still do it. But making homemade tamales for your Christmas Day meal.
Get out of here.
Amazing. Have you ever had a good homemade tamale?
Not a homemade tamale.
Oh, God. Yeah. Why would you have out there in rural Pennsylvania?
Unless it's cooked in fat. We don't have it.
No,
so.
It is homemade. Making homemade tamales is an all-day event. Like, it is all day in the kitchen making tamales, but the outcome is phenomenal.
Sure.
Most times, like, if you could find people that will make tamales, they pick up around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, and they'll sell them. Like, you could buy a dozen for like $12, $10-12, usually about $1 a tamale. But you're not just going to buy one or two. Like, you have to have like a dozen, like, sure, orders of a dozen or so. But like mix and match, like chicken and beef and carnitas and oh god, homemade tamales, man, best Christmas food ever.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Big Mike says Christmas is when we have second Thanksgiving plus ham and tamales. What the fuck is tamales?
Telling you, man. Telling you.
Ben Anderson says Thanksgiving. No question asked. Shopkins resemble Thanksgiving better, and we all know Shopkins are the best. Ben Anderson, you've lost. Just kidding, buddy.
But not really.
Different kind of geek says Thanksgiving for sure. I only need one reason: some good old pumpkin pie. I'm just here for the pumpkin pie. Fact. I'm just here for the pumpkin pie. Amy wouldn't let me wear that shirt this year.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. I was tempted to wear like a nice sweater and then wear it under it, and then it's like at some point in the day, just take it off and see if she noticed.
You're like, wow, it's really hot in here. I need to take off the sweater real quick. Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
What a weird coincidence.
Alan Wilkinson says, as long as there's no sprouts, I'll eat all of it. That's true. Sprouts can get out of here.
Is that Brussels sprouts?
Probably.
Okay. Because I feel like sprouts is a vague description, because there's like bean sprouts, which you can't go wrong with bean sprouts. I mean, not by itself, but
Sure.
So Brussels sprouts, okay, I understand.
Did he tweet us before about Brussels sprouts? I feel like he might have.
It's possible.
Brian B. Day, Billy DJ Dog says Thanksgiving's all about the food, sweet potato pie, and I shut my mouth. M. Smith says Christmas, as our tradition, is prime rib. There you go. Turkey is fine once a year, but prime rib wins every time. Steve Bass with his cookie decorating gif. Easily Christmas. How can you not love Christmas cookie time? Plus, family has it on different days, so you can eat more. That's true. Evan Parker, Christmas Eve Chinese food. Yes. Do you know about this?
Yep.
Okay.
A Christmas story, man.
Yep. So, that was on Christmas Day. though.
Oh,
Wasn't it?
that's true. Okay.
But like I heard it was a thing that people just get Chinese food on Christmas Eve, and I thought it was just something one of my friends made up. Like, so I've been doing it for the past like 8 years,
Huh.
and I recently learned that like it's like something that a lot of people do.
I think
as
I remember
well.
you saying that last year that you were doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because I typically got that, and then like 2 years ago when it was, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get Chinese food and watch Frozen, because I like Frozen, but it's one of those like, I'm never going to sit down one day and be like, I feel like watching Frozen,
Sure.
you know? So I was like, if I make it a time, I'll watch it each year, I'll enjoy it better. So that's my tradition now, is eat Chinese food, Christmas Eve, and watch Frozen. And Amy learned, like, before her and I were dating last year, and apparently she's like, one of the first things she's like, this is legitimate, one of the first things she said, she's like, I'm excited to spend Christmas with you so I can do that tradition. And I'm like, embarrassed you that much? She's
Done.
like, that just sounds awesome. I was like, all right. So excited for that. Dad playing games says, I work retail, so definitely Christmas as I get that day off. LOL. I can actually enjoy my Christmas foods without being rushed. That's very true. Working retail is good to have Christmas day off.
Mm-hmm.
Snowguard77, Christmas, a more intimate family meal without the large family drama. Scott Hartley says, only one choice here in Australia, Christmas. Also, we have a cold Christmas lunch, so shaved meats, etc. Plus, it's summertime, right? In Australia, is it hot?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Jacob Woodley says, I prefer Christmas because I'm not a fan of turkey, ham life, in parentheses, and there's more cookies. Jeff Grimes, 23, Christmas. There are no rules for Christmas. Bring on all the appetizers and snacks. Toys and Doodles says, Christmas, dude. Stuffing is divine, but you can never go wrong with some good old gingerbread cookies. DMU Girl 2008, I'm British, so there's only one choice. Sam Finger says Hanukkah because you can gamble with chocolate coins, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
William Thorndyke says Christmas because turkey is just foul. # pun intended. First of all, it's easily on there. It has to go for Thankful Carry, just because I'm learning about enchiladas and tamales.
Okay.
Which Big Mike mentioned also, so maybe if we want to send to, we can do that as well. But
Sure, we could do that.
Thankful Carry saw it first. But,
So at Carry Clan and at Big Mike, get at me. I got some mystery packages coming your way.
I might now have to bring tamales as a Christmas thing.
Yeah, you need to find somebody that is making homemade tamales.
Nobody in Lancaster County is making homemade
There
tamales.
has to be. Put a Craigslist ad. I don't care. Somebody in Philly has to be doing it.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm telling you, I will ship you some homemade tamales if I have to.
I'm going to text Amy right now.
Okay.
Dear Amy, can you make some homemade tamales for Christmas this year? Thanks.
Thanks. She's going to be very confused by this.
She knows we're recording podcasts, and she's like, is this about the podcast? I guarantee it. So, yeah, here's my opinion, okay?
Okay.
So when he first said this, I'm like, duh, it's Thanksgiving.
Right.
And I thought about it more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Thanksgiving seems like the easy answer,
Sure.
Go crazy, eat whatever. But then somebody said, which I forget who it was, saying about there's like no rules for Christmas.
Right.
That's the other thing. I'm a cookie guy, don't get me wrong. But like, and same like a candy, like I'm not a big candy guy. I eat peanut butter cups, but I don't like eat Snickers all the time. Like
Sure.
it's just, whatever. Christmas time, as my cousin says, the rule is there is no calories from Thanksgiving through New Year's. That's
Right.
just a thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
No.
Christmas time, man, I eat the crap out of desserts
Sure.
and like everything like that. I don't say no. That's just you just don't.
Right.
So I don't know. And like I was never an eggnog guy, but I think I was more scared of it, so I never really tried it much.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I got it, but then like same thing. Like I'll drink it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, this is it. Like I had my seasons filled.
Right.
But I mean, there's just a lot. So I don't know.
Here's the crux of the argument. Okay. Here's how I break it down. This is kind of a trick question when you think about it.
Hold on.
Okay.
I got an update.
Okay. Tamale update.
This is really gonna make you mad.
Tamale update 2016.
Quote from Amy. This is text.
Yeah.
What the heck is a tamale?
Oh my god. First of all, she has never been more lucky to not be on Twitter at this moment. Because I will shut this podcast down to angrily tweet at her about what a tamale is.
Sure.
2, Rural Pennsylvania. I have to tell myself that you live in rural Pennsylvania. Like, this is hard for me to grasp the concept of somebody not knowing what a tamale is. But I have, like, it's the equivalent of me not knowing what Scrapple was, right?
Sure.
To you, that's a crazy notion that nobody
or a
would
whoopie
know.
pie?
Yeah, right? Like, that's crazy to think that somebody doesn't know what that is. Granted, yours is a little bit more regional. Mine is, kind of a worldwide thing. But other than that, like, I understand how it would be excluded from you. But to not even know what a tamale is, at least...
See, here's the thing. She might not know, like, it's one of those things that, like, it's one of those things you might never have seen it written out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff you don't know because you've never seen the word written out, so you're like, what the heck is that?
Do you know what a tamale is?
I know what a tamale is.
What's a tamale?
It's like I don't even know, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's like the beef thing inside of a roll.
Okay, yeah, it's like cornmeal. There's
Yeah.
the meat, and then there's the cornmeal, and it's baked
It's a-
inside a corn husk.
It's a fancy taco.
No. It's like a chimichanga minus deep fried. No, it's not. That's
Well, then what's the point?
no. Yeah, no. Ooh, okay.
I've had tamales.
Okay.
There's like Mexican restaurants
Sure,
around that
sure,
I've had
sure.
them at.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
but-
fair.
And not that type of thing like a fast food. Like there's like actual legitimate Mexican restaurants
Yeah.
to go to.
You should ask them. Maybe they make tamales to go.
And it's one of the places I first ever had to have the valet parking discussion
Okay.
where they
okay.
valet park. I'm like, I'm not about that life. I'm gonna park my own car. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I will say this, and you could tell Amy I said this because I'm not sure she'll be listening, but you can pass this on. I will forgive her lack of knowledge about what a tamale is for the simple fact that she didn't automatically assume you were talking about hot tamales, the candy.
There you go.
Okay? So, as long as she didn't go that route, we're okay. But she's lucky she's not on Twitter. Thanksgiving, okay? Thanksgiving is a day. Now, when it comes to the Thanksgiving food, you could probably carry it over into the next day because nothing screams Thanksgiving like Thanksgiving leftovers, okay?
Yes.
So we're talking 2 days max of food revolving around the Thanksgiving holiday, right?
Yep.
When I say Christmas, I didn't specify Christmas Eve or Christmas Day meal. I said Christmas. And as far as I'm concerned, Christmas food starts the day after Black Friday.
That's fair.
And it goes through New Year's, like you said. So, sure, you have your Christmas Day meals. You have your Christmas Eve meal. You have your, like, a lot of people do, like, Christmas Day brunch and that kind of stuff. Like, those are specific meals.
Get your honey ham.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But you also have to take into consideration all the delicious food that's going on in the build-up and the aftermath of Christmas. Chex Mix. Muddy Buddies. All the different pies. Gingerbread, eggnog, just everything, sugar cookies, candy canes, like everything, hot chocolate and marshmallows. I'm sorry, that's Christmas, right? So you have to take into consideration all of that delicious stuff going on for the entire month of December.
Sure.
That's Christmas food to me, not just a specific meal on Christmas. So, with that being said, Thanksgiving meal, it's great. It's phenomenal. One of the best meals you could possibly have. Just everything, all the traditional Thanksgiving dishes that are incorporated into what we know as the meal is just perfect. It's nearly flawless as a meal. But when you open the floodgates and you have no rules when it comes to what you consider Christmas food, man, how do you beat that?
It's very true. It's very true.
Tamales, though.
Tamales.
So, you two get a hold of me, DM me, email me, text me, whatever the case is. And I'll get some mystery packages out your way. It's time to move on to the last segment of the night. we got some emails to cover.
Let's do it.
The email part of the podcast is sponsored by our good friend, Evan Parker, a.k.a. The Lone Goldfish. He's over on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Lone Goldfish. Go over there, check out what he's doing. Say hi to Evan. He's deeply concerned about Skylanders as well, as we all are. But let me pull up some emails here so we can get to it. First email, this is from Devin Lachinsky, sponsor of the show, Devin Lachinsky. He wrote in an email.
Ooh.
He said, hey guys. Okay, first of all, Devin sent me a DM on Twitter, which I don't hear from Devin very often, but when I do, always enjoyable. He sends me just a DM the other night. All it is just a picture of a Chase variant Barbella that he found on Black Friday. I'm like,
dude, so many people found him on Black Friday.
yeah. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. And he found it on Sunday. So in ridiculous. The like pop-up kiosk thing that they had for the Skylanders that they had out on Black Friday. Just sitting there. Nobody had picked it up. So,
unbelievable.
Good on Devin. Anyway, he wrote an email and he said, since PSX is coming up, which we talked about, he is going to, do you guys think that anything will be announced Toys to Life related?
No, I don't think so. It's late in, production. It'd be too early to talk about stuff for next year. I guess unless something it's like the Lego Dimensions thing, if they're hinting at some kind of exclusive system thing for PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a show for them to bring up Toys to Life unless it's something exclusive that they got. So I don't think they're just going to make a generic Toys to Life update. So again, it would have to be something that's PlayStation specific, and there's nothing really for them to do with Skylanders because they already had that. So unless it's something that's Lego Dimensions and it's late in the year, but obviously they already have the Supergirl stuff, and so I don't foresee anything.
Right. The only thing that came to mind was like something to do with Crash, because he was exclusive. They might talk about how Crash was in Skylanders and like maybe share a little bit more information about the remakes that's going on with the games. Other than that, though, I don't know what they would talk about specifically at PSX. But who knows? I mean, the show's full of surprises, so we'll definitely be paying attention to it. But Devin, like, please, after you go, like, write in, let us know your experience at PSX. We want to know how it was there. We're gonna see accounts of it on Twitter and whatnot, and the big news and whatnot. But let us know, man. Tell us how it was. We are curious. We want to live vicariously through you, Devin.
100%.
So do that for us, man.
Do you remember way back when Crackdown for Xbox 360?
Uh-huh.
If you got a copy of that, you got into the Halo 5 or Halo 3, whatever it was at that point.
Yes.
Thing you had to put the disc in, and you got into the multiplayer thing, and it took like 20 minutes to get to the beta, because you had to boot up the game and boot up the thing, and yada, yada, yada. What if you gave you a demo of the new Crash Bandicoot games, the remakes, but you had to start up Skylanders Imaginators and access it from a menu in there.
I like
that. It's not
that.
gonna happen, but it was awesome.
Would have been cool. You never know. That could be something they could patch in.
Yep.
You would think, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Like you finish the island, and then it's like, hey, you want to play a demo of what's coming next for Crash? What Crash's next adventure is?
Darn right I do.
Absolutely. Next email. This is from DMU Girl 2008. She wrote in and said, hey guys, here are this week's questions for you. Lego Dimensions, Jason. What is your favorite red brick? I mean, there's an easy answer for this.
I tell me the disco one?
The one that attracts all studs around you.
Yeah.
Because that makes the game just go so much quicker.
I did the cheat originally way back when, for like in the one DC Comics world, it was like stuff was spawning really quickly, and so you could do that, and that you just get in a Batmobile and just keep doing drifting around.
Yeah.
And then you turn that sucker on, and then so you're just picking up studs like no one's business.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that would probably, yeah.
Sure. The disco was not bad. The
No.
DC comic one, uh, I really like for how crazy and weird it is, but it gets super annoying after like 3 minutes. You're just like, I
Sure.
don't want to keep seeing the pow and bam come up every time I smash something. Like the first few times, like the novelty is fantastic, but it wears thin so quickly.
It's like the character conversations between each other.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay. Legit, if you say it one more time, you're getting kicked off the portal.
Yep. Speaking of which, what's your favorite funny figure interaction?
The Chris Pratt ones are still the funniest in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the Wild Style 2 Owen.
Yep. She listed Sonic and the Doctor for me as her favorite so far.
Yep.
I was playing the other night. I was playing through the Fantastic Beasts story pack, and I had Newt and Harry Potter. And at one point, Newt says to him, "Gryffindor, huh? I'm Hufflepuff." And I'm like, it's not even that funny, but I love it because I know what the heck you're talking about. So, good stuff there. Beasts of Balance question. What's your favorite piece?
I've always been impartial. I feel like everyone's gonna say the bear.
Yeah.
But I like the shark.
Yeah. Shark's cool.
It's just, it's kind of like the eagles, like is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The octopus is kind of like the bear's kind of cool. Like the shark, I feel like you put the shark down, like all kinds of crazy crap's about to go down.
Oh yeah, the shark is so unpredictable as far as a play piece. Bear, I love. I have a special attachment to because they gave Bear personality during like the early marketing of this game, and I will never forget what they did with Bear and like making Bear a character. The octopus though is a fun little piece to use. So, but I think you're right. Shark is big. Shark is completely unbalanced in so many different ways. It's so impossible to play it with any strategy or skill, and yet everybody still wants to always put it on the stack. And it's like that's what I'm saying. Like you're ruining the game by playing Shark, but you gotta do it.
That's my favorite. Like that's what I was gonna say because like people are like, okay, I'll put this one out and I'll put this one on flat, and then some guy's like, Shark, like, God, are you kidding me? You know, like that's what it is.
Dave, can't you just hold off on Shark for one game?
Jeez.
Drop the Shark. Skylander, she has a couple questions here. What's your favorite battle class?
I'm probably goes Bazooka. I don't really know why, but
that sounds right for you.
I'm
partial to the Sorcerer.
Yeah, I've always been like a run and gun kind of guy. So
sure.
The only games I'm stealthy at are the Splinter Cell games. That's the only games I can ever even handle being a little bit stealthy with.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, where the frick have those been?
Whew. Good question. What's your favorite fun weapon?
I have no idea.
Okay. You haven't experimented too much with the...
No.
Yeah. The banana shooters, I think, are fun.
Man.
You have a plunger. There's all kinds of wacky stuff in there. So, they did good with that. Okay, next up we have a couple more in-depth, serious-toned emails. First one is from our friend Green Armadillo. He only writes in when there's something a-brewing. He sits back and waits for news. Dear Josh and Jason, I don't know how reliable the LEGO Dimensions subreddit is, but it seems like every day someone is posting that the game corrupted and lost their save data. I legit have not touched the game since Wave 6 came out, and these reports started because I don't have time or interest to replay everything I have done in Dimensions, and I assumed this would be fixed any day now back in September. Is this a real issue? Has TT addressed it publicly? Is there anything you could do to protect your data? I'm not a PS Plus member because I don't do anything else that requires it, so I don't have access to the PSN cloud backup for the save. Thanks for the rumor control. So can you shed any light on that, Jason?
Yeah, so so it definitely is an issue. A lot of people had a whole bunch of people corrupt. I think James Holian might even had one go corrupt.
Yeah.
But
Wii U, I think.
Yeah, so it's across the board. It has something to do with I think the downloads or something like that. When you're downloading patches or stuff not getting updated correctly or something like that. So it's definitely is there. And there's some people even posted even late as on Friday, still having some issues. I don't even think the latest patch necessarily fixed stuff yet. But I know it's definitely an issue. As far as the backup and save stuff like that, honestly, I don't even know because I don't even know how the cloud stuff works anymore. I don't know if you can really I don't know if it just makes copies. I don't think you can have multiple copies of a save. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the cloud's up there, yeah, but you would have to play offline, which you can't really do because of the download. So I really don't know if there's anything you can do per se.
Sure.
I could be wrong on that. I'm sure there might be some way, but like that. I don't know if you can really back them up as much as you used to be able to, with a physical memory card.
So have they publicly addressed this problem?
No.
Yet? Okay, but it is happening.
And if you contact support, I've seen people post a thing saying the support people wrote back, saying a number of users are experiencing a loss of game progress. I think the default one is, let me pull it up here. Number of users are experiencing a loss of game progress when updating the LEGO Dimensions Wave 6 files. We are working hard to find a solution for this as quickly as possible. In turn, we advise you to remain on the game's main menu screen until any downloads are complete to avoid risk of losing previously saved data. We will update this thread as soon as we have more news. And so someone posted that, and that was on last Friday.
Crazy. He had a follow-up email that came in today because he sent that one in last week. P.S. Written a week later after the Skylanders rumors. Not to pile on early, but is there any sales data on Dimension story packs? They invested a huge portion of Dimension's Year 2 content into these packs, and the packs cost almost as much as a full LEGO game, and they had the misfortune of focusing the first one on the not especially popular 2016 Ghostbusters movie. After the year we've had, would anyone be surprised if these things sold horribly and took down the last Toys to Life franchise with them?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't sell very well. The good thing of it all, I don't see very many of them on the store shelves. So right. I think that they did a pretty good job with keeping stock, estimating demand on it. And again, maybe it's just my store employees, different places aren't putting them out on the shelf, when it's time to restock them. And again, as we said before, you can only really keep a couple out there in the first place. But so I wouldn't be worried as that much on it because it's not like you're seeing, a bunch of them sitting on a shelf. So that's a good side of that. As far as sales numbers, nothing's ever popular, especially with Toys to Life stuff. Different people release different stuff that make it seem like they're doing better than they are. So Disney Infinity came out saying they're number one. Skylanders came out saying they're number one. LEGO Dimensions they're the top selling in this part. So there's some of that. And so there's no really hard numbers, and so there's nothing ever going to be officially released. Story packs, I don't think they're selling very well, but I don't think I think they're selling on key with what they expected them to sell.
Right.
I don't think they're expecting to sell gangbusters on them.
Yeah. And the additional packs, we won't know numbers because they're not part of the NPD numbers, which are just based on games. These extra packs are counted as DLC essentially.
Sure.
So they don't ever factor into the NPD sales numbers that you get on a monthly basis.
Right. But like we said, there's no way the game would survive with just level packs.
Right.
For 2 years either. So
no.
They had to do this, and I would defend the pricing. Obviously, the Black Friday pricing is fantastic.
Sure.
I think it's exactly where it could be. Maybe you can knock $5 off or something.
Yeah.
But
the problem with the pricing is a lot of people are skittish of it because they aren't already into collecting full Lego sets.
Right.
Because this price not only reflects the gameplay and the story that you're getting in the game, but it also reflects the amount of bricks that you're getting, because these are like, what, 100, 200 pieces?
Yeah, 200 plus.
Yeah, so you're paying like the per brick price that a normal Lego set would have, because you're getting these cool portal builds in addition to the game. So you have to separate, that with the game content, and that's how they come up with the price of it. So,
right.
But that scares people off, because a lot of people that are in Lego Dimensions aren't necessarily normal purchasers of Lego building sets.
Yep.
So they don't know the pricing. They don't know that you could walk in and pick up a set for, a 300-400 piece set for $80. Like, that's a normal thing for Lego builders, right?
Right.
But for gamers, like, that's like, whoa, hold on. 2 hours of content for $50? That doesn't seem right. So.
Excuse me.
That's that. Last email of the night goes to Alex, our friend Alex, Atari Alex. He's a sponsor of the Collector's Edition that we desperately need to do a Collector's Edition. You can find him on Twitter, at Atari Alex. You could also check out his wonderful podcast. It's called the ABC Podcast. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on YouTube, I believe. You could definitely find out other ways you could listen to the ABC Podcast by interacting with Alex himself on Twitter, at Atari Alex. He writes, "Dear Josh and Jason, the day has finally come. We all knew it would come eventually, but that doesn't make it any easier. Now, I know this is all still unconfirmed, so our panic may be for nothing, but personally, I'm bracing for the worst. In my opinion, and I think what any reasonable company would do, Skylanders should take a year off, reevaluate the strategy, hire a new marketing team, and proceed from there. Unfortunately, Activision is far from reasonable, and they have shown a pattern of pumping out games, running them into the ground, and dumping them once they cease to be profitable. But we can hope that cooler heads will prevail, and the franchise, on the Toys to Life side at least, can still be saved. So I have 3 questions for you tonight. First, regardless of the final outcome, how do you think this news will affect other franchises looking to enter the Toys to Life market, like Lightseekers and Toyji, and Infinite Arms, I guess? For reals, Infinite Arms, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, when was last? Have they tweeted anytime recently?
That game's dead, dude.
Yeah, it's absolutely dead.
It's never happening.
That's on there.
Pre-orders. Right? What's coming first? Infinite Arm pre-orders or Thrillipede?
That's the thing that makes no sense. Is like coming next week.
You were a week from opening pre-order for it, and you're just like, nah, we're good.
Nah, boo boo, we're done. But I was just scrolling through that famous picture I got of the what up Jason inquires from the red robot guy. It's in the Pet Boys parking lot. I'm like, what the heck is this? But yeah. So you can see it either way. Either A, they'd be like, oh, now we have an opportunity because Skylander's gone. Yeah. But 2, it's one of those like, it's Skylander's gone. Family's gonna be like, all right, we're done this.
Sure.
You're still. I cannot wait for the people who then complaining. I invested all this money for like what? I still don't understand that argument. Disney Infinity people like invested all this money and then this happens. What? I don't know.
You are not owed anything.
You like it's okay.
Also, Lightseekers, Toyji, anybody else that might be entering this market, they are doing it in a different way than what we know Toys to Life to be now. None of them are copying the Skylanders approach. They're trying to do a different spin on it. Lightseekers is going mobile. They're going only a couple figures. They're incorporating a physical card game that you can play outside of the game. Like, they're creating this whole little universe that revolves around a Toys to Life game that really sort of is Toys to Life, but is more of a mobile game with Toys to Life. Like it's its own thing. Toyji, completely different. It's going after a very specific market It's focusing on the educational part of gaming. It's focusing on a very young audience, and they're not pushing the figures to unlock content, but they're using the figures as controllers. Like, they are doing a different thing as well. So, for anybody else wanting to get into this, they can't be coming up and saying, well, Skylanders is gone, so we're going to create this IP, and we're going to create this world, and we're going to put out figures that you put on this base, and they unlock a character in the game, and then you run through and smash stuff. Like, they can't do the same formula. Plain and simple. They have to do something else, or the genre is dead.
Yeah, because you'll notice, like, the Toy G Kickstarter doesn't even mention the phrase "Toys to Life."
No.
I think Light Thinkers did once or twice, but
Sure.
Again, they didn't really use that phrase. They used a different thing. So people are getting around from using that phrase as well. So, again, it's like anything else. People will still make it if that's something that they think will be successful for their, what they want to do.
Right.
But I don't think nothing's going to be as successful as Skylanders ever was.
Nope.
In Toys to Life. If they're aiming at doing something like that, they're never going to hit that. But if you're like, hey, we really like this. This is a perfect genre to do it. We can make it a mild success just to pay back the bills and get a nice community going.
Yeah.
And still a chance for it. But you're never going to get to a spot where Toys R Us is dedicating 2.5 files to it.
Right. Yeah. His second question. Assuming the rumors are untrue, what do you think is the best way for the franchise to move forward and get people back into the game?
I think it's hard. Like I said, I don't think there's any way for them to really get new people in. I think they just have to keep doing what they're doing, but keep stuff out. But like at the end of the day, I honestly think they could just do better just with communication at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And just tying everything together. Right now, it just seems just so awkwardly all over the place with different people getting different stuff at different times.
Yep.
Not knowing when things are coming. Now their website updated with the figures all at once now, like all the variants and stuff, but there's nothing on there as far as where to get what, when it's coming. So like parents are like, I want that figure, but where is it? When does it come? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
There's like it's just not very consumer friendly. And on the flip side of that, like same thing, like the imagination chest, get that crap out of here. The creation crystals, make it logical on there. Maybe just don't go back to like the prior days where you just had the figures and that's all you had. Do stuff like that. I mean, they can still have a gimmick, but they don't need to go as stretched as far as what they had.
Mm-hmm.
And just fine tune, and versus doing a bunch of things okay, just go back to doing one thing really well.
Yeah.
So
reboot the franchise. Started off with very limited figures. Like, people are overwhelmed by 20, 30, 40 figures a year. Go back, do a year dedicated to the first 8 dragons of Spyro's Adventure. That's it. Bring back those 8 dragons. Make a game around those 8 dragons. Or, heck, add in 2 more for your other elements that you pretend don't exist, but you continue to kind of sort of pretend exist in some way, shape, or form, but then you kind of forget about them on the marketing, so you squeeze them into the logo just a little bit. I don't care. But go back to dragons. People love dragons. Game of Thrones is a hit because of dragons. Dragons. That's how you do it. Third and final question. Finally, assuming the rumors are true, do you think there is a possibility of Toys for Bob and the Skylanders license being bought out by another publisher to continue the series? I know you ruled this out as a possibility for Disney Infinity, but Skylanders is a much bigger media juggernaut than Disney Infinity ever was, which could certainly draw in potential buyers.
No, because if they, again, to do anything like that, they're going to need a big financial backing, and Activision has that clout, and nobody else does.
Yeah.
And again, I said before, same thing with this rumor. It's one guy saying there's one source, and then how many times you can search Twitter, oh my God, Skylanders is canceled. So it's getting spread out. People don't really know where they originally came from, and they're just assuming that's fact.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's just always that even if it gets just even a whiff of, false information, it's going to spread like wildfire. And people aren't going to go back into it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's different times where people take a year off, or reboot things, stuff like that, and it just doesn't what people wanted.
Sure.
So
here's the interesting thing to think about. Okay. The Skylanders franchise, if this is all true, we could theoretically probably assume that it's dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to buy it out. Nobody's going to reboot it. Sure, they might try in a few years, whatever. But let's just assume it's just dead. Skylanders is dead. The Spyro character, he still has legs, man.
Oh, he absolutely does.
Like, the nostalgia for Spyro... Like, think about how many people are still upset that Spyro was put into this game.
Yep.
And this game was created around Spyro. You pull Spyro out of Skylanders, if Skylanders is dead to you, right, as Activision, toss Skylanders to the side, you're still holding on to Spyro. That is still a name that people are familiar with, that people trust, that people love. You could put Spyro into anything else going forward that you want to. You could make another Spyro game. We could have a series of Spyro games going forward that comes from this, because you can't pull Spyro out of Skylanders now and put him solo, because he's associated with Skylanders. He's in the cartoon. He's in all the marketing. He's not in the game anymore. Kinda. I mean, he's an NPC or whatever. But you can't just pull him out of Skylanders, because people will be like, well, is he still in Skylanders? What's the deal there? Like, that would be weird. If Skylanders is gone, it's no more, you're back to having Spyro in your pocket, and you could make up whatever you want to do with him. So, it's not all doom and gloom for Activision as far as this franchise is concerned. There is possible directions they could go from here, and that specifically with Spyro, I think. So,
yep.
That being said, that's all the emails. That's all we got time for. This has been quite a long show, but it was much needed. Really quickly, Jason, before you tell the people out there listening where they could find you on the internets and such, you're in a book.
Oh, yeah.
You are in a published book.
What's up, Mom?
Are you doing like book signings, or like how does this work?
I should. I told Mom I can give her some autographed copies for Christmas if she wants.
You want to tell the people about this book?
Yeah. So, I don't remember if it was. I think was it on Thanksgiving?
It might have been, or yeah.
I know I was at Amy's house. That's why I think it was on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if it was on Thanksgiving or if it was on Wednesday night. But I think I remember it being on Thursday, because I remember thinking, is there going to be some store open that would have the book? But yeah, so Scholastic, the people who make the Scholastic Book Club and all that kind of fun jazz, is made a book called Gaming Live.
Okay.
And this is your guide to video game live streaming, superstar interviews, greatest videos, and awesome gaming. Something I can't read the bottom text because it's a weird silver cover. But so it was Thursday night. I get a tweet from friend of the show, Jeff Grimes, and says like, "Hey, my kid found us at the library," and like I see it, and I was like, thought it was just gonna be some weird, interesting factoid or something. Like I could see the Skylanders on it and just see something funny, maybe some joke about Thrillipede. I don't know, going there. The last thing I would think would be my YouTube channel being featured in this book. Sure. And I'm like, what? I said to Amy, I'm like, Amy, I'm in a book. She's like, what? I pull it up. She's like, what the heck? I was like, no idea. And so I sit there, and it's published as August. So it says like number of followers, 2,500, number of views, 110, up to 3,500 viewers now, and like 250,000 views. But then the description's funny. It's like, Jason's channel covers every single Toys Life franchise you care to name, making him the place to go to get your Skylanders knowledge. Regular news updates will help you stay up to date with the new releases and game news for your favorite franchise, and his unboxing videos are always packed with useful information. And I'm like, this is so bizarre. And then they have this little chart of like ratings for the channel, and it just made me laugh so much. Skill 4 out of 5. Don't know what that means, because I don't have any like playing videos on there, but I appreciate that. Sure. Collection 5 out of 5. All right. Okay. Knowledge 5 out of 5. All right. Talkativeness 4 out of 5. Oh. Okay. I guess so. Sure. Yeah. Hilariousness, 2 out of 5.
Wow.
Whoa, man, they dropped a hammer on me.
You got dinged for your humor?
It got hit hard.
Wow. I thought that would have been your shining star.
I know, right?
Huh.
They don't like my random jokes.
How about
But I was
that?
like, to be fair, I don't typically don't make like,
I mean, you don't
Uh,
scream at the camera and use a bunch of profanity, so maybe that's your problem.
yeah, I guess so. And like I make like a little jokes here and there, but like it's kind of like I just try to make it like a fun thing. But not that I am offended by any means, but
Sure.
it's just funny. It's just like what?
So,
but
just to clarify, you had no idea this was happening.
not a
They
clue.
didn't approach you and say, "Hey, can we put you in the book?
Nope.
We're going to feature your channel. Hey, here's a free
Nope.
copy of the book because we used you."
Nope.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
How do you know the author of this book?
Not. I don't think there's even. It's just Scholastic.
How does this happen?
I have no idea.
This is the most random thing, and I've already just bought in the book, by the way.
It's like $7 on Amazon.
Yeah.
It features Skylanders Boy and Girl at the top. Obviously, they're essentially paid Skylanders promoters.
Sure.
Then like One of Wisdom on there, which I don't think I knew anything about that. Mousedoll79, which I think follows me on Twitter and like interacts 7 times, and then obviously EvanTube. But the funny thing to me, the thing that makes me laugh about this, all the Skylanders YouTubers out there who get all this stuff, none of them are on here. So what's up, Skylanders? How you doing?
Yeah. How do you like those embargoes now?
But yeah, so it's just random, and I mean, it's awesome. Feel like really humbled by it.
Yeah. So awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny. We went out to dinner Friday night as a family for this like local Christmas thing, and I had like a little padded envelope. I'm like, Mom, I got you like this early Christmas gift. She's like, oh, thanks. Opens it up, and she's like, what the heck is this? And she laughed, awkwardly laughed, because I didn't really say anything.
Right.
She didn't really know like how to react or what she's supposed to say or not supposed to say. And she's like, so is this so like I can learn things? I like turn to page 18. She's like, okay. And she's like, oh wow, Skylanders. And she's like, what the heck? And I was like, look, it's me. I'm in a book. And so it's good funny. And Heather's like, my sister's freaking out. She's like, did you know about this? You didn't know about this. They never told you. No, they didn't tell. I didn't know. But so yeah, anyways, big shout out to Jeff Grimes, and I guess specifically I think he said it was son.
Yeah.
Found it in there. So I know that they used to watch when I did my weekly updates and stuff, and I really appreciated that. So appreciate a big shout out to him for seeing it in there. But it was good fun. Never would have guessed.
Yeah. Life is weird, man.
Life is weird, man. Life is weird.
Where could people find you on the internet?
Other
than the book.
And I will say, I forget who it was who tweeted it. And again, for people who don't know or people who get confused, Josh and I have the utmost respect and love Matt like he's a brother. But we just pick on him all the time because he's not here and it's more fun to do it and we know he can take it. But I forget who it was. But somebody tweeted saying about like Matt shaking in his boots with anger or whatever. It was funny. But
well, I mean, to be fair, Matt is slowly getting into the YouTube thing. Like he's done a great job getting into it. I mean, you had established your YouTube personality a little ahead of Matt getting into the YouTube.
Sure.
So maybe 2017 is gonna be Matt's year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. But yeah, so you can always follow me personally at Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. That's also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And obviously you can head to Brick Inquirer and Skylanders Inquirer for the Toys of Life centric accounts.
Absolutely. You can find me personally on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Toys for Games. You could email us podcast@toysforgames.com. Hang out with the Facebook crew over at facebook.com/groups/toysforgames. Check out the website. Be sure to check on the website very soon for all the information you will need for episode 100 and how to be a part of that. That will be on toysforgames.com, of course. And if you'd like to support us and what we do here for you guys, the community, you could do so over on Patreon, patreon.com/toysforgames. Big thank you to our executive producer, as always, George Torres. Show sponsor, Devin Lachinsky. Hope you have fun in PSX, my friend. Can't wait to hear some stories about that. For everybody else, glad to be back next week. Episode 99. We'll be ramping up for episode 100. It's going to be good. Can't wait. Till then, happy hunting, collectors.